What's up this afternoon, everyone? Welcome. Fine Tuesday to y'all, and Dustborn release day to y'all, and super dramatic, shocking Commander ban list update day. Oh my god. So this technically happened yesterday afternoon, but this is the first time that we've been talking. Good to see you. What is up? Latin Nerdog, Stone Rain, Dylan Hunter, Lucid, Raging Goblin, Labrador, Bankrick. How is everyone doing today? Gamer Fantastic your CG. Hopefully everyone is having a wonderful day. The volume's really low. Wait, my volume's really low for you? Hang on a minute. Check. Is my hang on. I can turn it up a little bit. Wow, the splash is very loud. I can hear that. Hang on, let me check this volume thing real quick. Check. Test. Is that any better? Hopefully that's better. Is my audio less low now? Swing for zero! And also McHarry! Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup for you. Thank you. Yeah, it was turned down a little bit, but we should be good now. McHarry, I wonder if Testimony Release Conversations is going to be overshadowed by EDH Banlist Conversations. That seems pretty likely. So, of course... We're doing Dustborn stuff today. I got a couple sweet decks that I want to try out. I want to try this Rakdos Carnage sack deck that's pretty funny. Want to see if we can win with Doomsday Demon, maybe some Nico blinking. So we're going to be playing some new Dustborn stuff. But first, we start off a little bit early because the last day has been absolutely full of. Increase it even more. Really? Wait, is something wrong with my mic? I feel like Check. I have it, like, pretty much maxed out. Huh. Check. Yeah, I mean, hopefully it's good. So, I asked a lot of my WotC channel. I got ran right off Airtox Extreme. I was scared to see anything. Oh, I'm pretty understanding about stuff like that. So, still quiet. Really? Huh. I don't know what I can do about this. I have it. Check. It's like maxed out. Huh. All right. Hopefully we're good enough, because I don't know if I can actually turn it up any louder. If it gets bad again, definitely let me know. But I'm super curious. All right. So yesterday, we got a Commander ban announcement out of the blue. One that no one expected. I was actually, like, my jaw actually straight up dropped. Sounds better, but hearing white noise. Okay, that's also not not ideal. Hopefully it's good for everyone else. So here's my question for all of you. So yesterday, thank you, Dankroom. So yesterday, we got this ban announcement. No one was expecting it. Dockside band, Jeweled Lotus band, Mana Crypt band, Nadu Winged Wisdom band. This is Commander. This is a format where we get a ban every few years, essentially, where we really just, it's not an actively managed format. We've talked about this many times before. Now, am I quiet for other people? Wait, is this an issue for other people too? It's like turned all the way up in OBS too. Hopefully... Oh, God. I don't know what this does. So, my question is, is it still quiet for other people? I don't know. Hopefully it's good for most people. Maybe a tad loud, but not a problem. Can confirm white noise. Wait, are you all getting white noise? Oh, no. Do I need to, like, restart my computer or something? Okay, all right. How many of you are actually having an issue with the sound of the stream? Either my mic being too quiet or some sort of white noise. Is this something that I need to fix? Can hear some white noise. Check your mic settings in Windows. It's quiet but okay. White noise. Like 60% of normal volume. Totally fine. Low but serviceable. What can I do about this? All right, it's either... Oh, I don't want to restart my computer, because then we got to restart... Is my mic plugged in properly? Could that be the... Hang on, let me check my mic real quick. Sorry. I thought we were good, because I just recorded stuff. My mic is plugged in. My mic's plugged in. That's good. Huh. Okay, well, oh, Wait, am I like super loud now? I feel like I just got super loud. Haha. Okay. Check. How's that? Is that better? I think perhaps my mic was not plugged in all the way. I'm sorry. I think perhaps has it normalized now? I turned it back down a little bit. Is it still super loud? Very low now. Check. I think it's about here that I want it. Check. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm sorry. Okay. So I think my mic was not plugged in. I'm sorry. I'm sorry about that. I always blame Bear. No, actually, it was probably CC. I'm going to blame CC for this one. Bear always gets the worst end of it. Okay, so we got through that. Thank you, everyone, for letting me know about that. Okay, yeah, it must have been just my mic not being plugged in all the way or something. Is there a second mic plugged in? No. I mean, I think there's one in random cameras, but no, there's not another mic. You turn it down a bit too much, but yes, much better. Sweet. Yeah, the cat's easy to blame. So my question for all of you is, here's the question I was trying to get to, but first, we have a new donation, a big donation from McHarry, $20 donation. So I just put my cards on the table. Pun. I've always been firmly against the existence of ban lists for casual formats. I think CDH should be tightly regulated, but regular EDH, just leave it up to the players. So even so, these bannings seem odd. I mean, I think I've heard this opinion from other people. My counter argument would be, I think no ban list, or creating your own ban list, even better, works really, really well if you have a play group. If you're playing with the same people again and again, you don't need the RC, you don't need wizards, I guess you need wizards to print cards sometimes, but you don't need anyone to tell you what to play. You can play the game however you want to, and that's what Commander was intended to be. But now as we play more and more at local game stores, in Magic Cons, in Command Fests, that's where I feel like I like having a ban list for Commander, because it sets an expectation going into the game. And I know Rule Zero in that conversation also helps set expectations, but I don't think you want to have a conversation about every mana crypt. The less you can do with that conversation, the better the game's gonna be. Change to the camera. Oh my god. Oh. Professional streamer, ladies and gentlemen. We're still in the intro. Yes. Here I am. Hello, John Donator, Crazy Eagle. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big subscription. Thank you. So, okay, here's my question for all of you, and thank you so much, McHarry. And I think that's a respectable position. I can understand that position. I don't know if I fully agree with, we don't need any ban lists because of those pickup games. That's where I think we need them. But I can respect that. I want to know what y'all think. Elsner, we got to see Crazy Goalie. Welcome you all to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super thank you. Loved your Pioneer Lock video. Yeah, that deck was so much fun. So here's a question. What do you think? So y'all know what I think, because I'm always talking on Twitter and I have my opinions on things. I don't want you to agree with me. I like people who, I don't want you to disagree with me intentionally either, but I don't mind people thinking different than me. I like being around people who see things differently than me, rather than people who see the same as me. So I'm very curious, what was your gut reaction to this ban list? Because this ban list dropped when I was doing the podcast yesterday. It literally went live in the middle of the podcast. So the podcast yesterday was literally my gut reaction of just first seeing this, and I was hyped because I was like, man, this is getting rid of fast mana, which I think is a positive. It shows the RC is actually doing everything, but I have seen a ton of negative feedback from the community. So I want to know what y'all think about this, because I might be in the minority on this one. It seems like most people, just based on the social media reaction at least, are kind of against it. I don't think I play any of these old Princess Buttercups. Wait, these in the old Princess Buttercup, only extended universe, Commander deck, so it's all good here. I'm mostly against it. The banning of Jeweled Lotus after CMM got bulk shipped out on the festival box rubs me the wrong way. So I will say, if there's a part of this that seems scummy to me, it is Jeweled Lotus. The Jeweled Lotus part does seem scummy. I'll get into that in a minute. WotC loves to do high-value reprints to sell products and then ban the cards after. Ultimately, I think they're pretty good bans for the health of the format, but if they're going to ban those cards, then in my opinion, they will need to ban Soul Ring too. I would agree with that, which I don't think they'll ever do. Also would agree with that. So many Commander players are invested in those cards. The financial aspect sucks. I feel really bad for anyone that bought a Mana Crypt or bought a Jeweled Lotus or saved up to get a Dockside and then got wrecked by this banning. That is by far the worst part of bannings. And I wasn't hit by this one very much because I don't think I have I have Docksides. I don't have a Mana Crypt. I don't want a Jeweled Lotus because I never played Jeweled Lotus. And Nadu's not worth anything. So I guess I just got hit by a Dockside that I actually got because I bought the Precon back when the Precon came out. So I didn't get hit by this super hard financially. I definitely feel super bad for everyone who got wrecked by this. The Golden Kappa Trains are coming. Psycho Spare for the 95th month. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Ooh, switch from Outlaws to a more traditional Jund. Dude, let me take a peek. I think the Ideal Commander, welcome back to the Fishbowl, by the way. Big super chat for you. Hey, thank you for the bits. Those are super. We gotta get the Kappa Train. I don't think I've ever seen a Kappa Train before. I didn't even know there was a thing. Canadian Highlander point system is probably the best method. So in Canadian Highlander, what they do is they take and give powerful cards points, and you only have so many points in your deck. So maybe I don't know the actual points. If you're a Canlander player, you probably do. But like Mana Crypt's 5 points or something. So, and you only have 15 total points. So you had a budget basically. The only problem I see with that, I think that's a really cool idea. The only problem I see is it does make things more complicated. And part of the upside of Commander is it's really casual and easy to get into. And I'm not sure if the people who are like playing Precon level Commander, do they really want to have to deal with a point system? And like, it just seems complicated for those type of players. So that'd be my only concern with that, but I think it's cool. I personally think it's fine. The secondary market should never affect the ban list. I would agree with that. I think you can't run the ban list based on the secondary market, although that does not diminish the pain of people who got wrecked by it. And I will separate it out a little bit. Like when it comes to the financial impact, Stone Rain handing out the gift sub to Night Farmer. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big subscription for you. Thank you. Yeah, so SCG, I did see SCG announce that. I know Cool Stuff Inc. does that. So a lot of vendors, if you bought a card within the last couple of weeks, thank you for the bits, by the way, Game Banner, they will refund you for the card. When it comes down to the financial impact, I have mixed feelings. I feel really bad for any players who got wrecked by it. Like, if you're just someone who plays CDH, or you just want to collect Mana Crypts, and you lost a ton of value, that sucks, and I feel really bad for you. I feel bad for local game stores who got stuck with maybe a ton of Mana Crypts in their stock, because Commander's really popular. Super bad for them. I don't feel especially bad for the investor aspects of it that got kind of wrecked. Like, if you have a huge pile of Jeweled Lotuses because you were expecting they were going to go up in value and that's like your investment, investments have risk. Like, it's unfortunate, I guess, and I don't want to see anyone lose money, but still, like, if that's how you're treating it like the stock market, there's no guarantee that the stock market's gonna go up. So I don't feel super bad for people who are doing like the investment game, but definitely feel very bad for like local game stores and players who got hit by it, which is just brutal. Hey, what's up, Tuka buddy? How are you? I really think Rule Zero works better than a large ban list. And then you can ask if it's okay for you to play your deck that has some pet ban cards. I think it's easier to talk about power level during Rule Zero than to say, this is my fast mana deck. Do y'all mind if I play with it? What are we playing today? Hey, we're heading to new standard. We can talk about this as we go along. Chip said something about it being in the works for over a year. Yeah, I'm a little confused by that. I saw that statement too. I've been going around on Twitter, and I missed your notification. Game Banner, I'm so sorry. Again, let me see if I can find it. Wait, where is it? Seth, I stand behind my view that Commander shouldn't have a ban list. I feel since it's a casual format, and most of the time people will Rule Zero out cards anyway, it doesn't need an official ban list. It doesn't see any official tournament play either, so a ban list just hurts player investment. That's what Rule Zero exists, and the fact that Wizards banned them after a ton of people spent money on them irks me immensely. I mean, that's a fair take. I like Commander having a ban list. And remember, Commander's had a ban list for a long time now, which has been controversial. Golden Kappa trade, 71%, a minute 30 to go. We have a new donation from McKiri coming back in with the $10 donation. Thank you so much. A ban list creates more problems than it solves in its current state. It leaves players confused since there isn't a consistent philosophy on bannings. Are we banning on power level There are cards left out. Are we banning for fun? There are cards left out. That is very true. The ban list is not very consistent. And even this announcement was not consistent. Like, they kind of say it themselves. They ban Mana Crypt and Jeweled Lotus and Dockside. And then they're like, but Soul Ring, yeah, sure, it is kind of the same as all those other cards, but it's iconic. So, we can't ban that one. Even though by what they're trying to do, that would be one of the cards they would probably want to be banning. So I think that's... I can see why people don't like. I guess my take is I still feel like no ban list works great if you're playing with the same people all the time. It comes down to like those Magic Con style games or LGS style games. Those are the games where I'm really happy that there's actually a ban list. Wow, McKiri with the gift subs. And wait, do we do it? Oh, hype! We did it. We got the golden Kappa trade. We have never gotten the golden Kappa trade before. McKiri handing out 5 gift subs too. Asmov, Urk Asylum, Frosty Flavors, Pluto, Jorderick, and also Stone Rain with the one to Lasso. Welcome y'all to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big subscription for you. Thank you. The one thing I will say, and then we're gonna start playing some Magic here, and we can talk about this as we're playing Magic. The one thing I did want to call out is the part that feels most scummy to me is definitely Jeweled Lotus. So Jeweled Lotus to me, it feels like a crypto rug pull. That's the only way that I can view how this went. Because to me, when I think of Jeweled Lotus, it was made specifically to be busted in Commander, to sell packs of Commander. It's been reprinted a bunch of times, as recently as the new mystery boosters, right? To sell more products. So Wizards got a lot of value out of this, selling Commander Masters, Commander Legends, and then all these players bought these cards, and then, yeah, if you look at the prices of these cards, it's kind of ridiculous just how fast the prices of these banned cards have fallen. That one feels a little scummy to me. But my take is still, like, overall, I feel like they just should not have printed these cards. Like, that's the real solution. I would say, like, the way they did the bannings yesterday, I like the bannings. I like the effect that the bannings will have on the format. I think it'll make the format more fun overall. But I think the things that went wrong were, number one, I think that the way it was communicated was really poorly, and I got your Jund deck pulled up, Psycho Smurf. I haven't looked at it yet. I think the way they communicated it was really poorly. Like, that's a problem. They should have done it over the course of like a year. Let people know, like, let's have a conversation about fast mana. We're thinking that fast mana might not be a bad thing. Maybe they just like ban just Dockside and Nadu, and they're like, hey everyone, we're thinking about fast mana. We think it has a bad impact on the format. We might be banning more of it in the future. Wanted to give you a heads up, something like that. Because I think what happened here that made it so bad is the expectation is the Commander RC doesn't do anything. Like, the Commander RC, yeah, we're 79% for level 2 Golden Kappa train somehow. But that's expectation, is we get a ban every few years, nothing really changes. So to go from that to banning 3 really expensive cards and Nadu all at once out of the blue, I can see why that would really get people riled up. It's just such a surprise, because that's not how Commander does things. And I think going back even further, Wizards just should not have printed Dockside and Jeweled Lotus. Mana Crypt, honestly, they probably shouldn't have printed that either. People forget that Mana Crypt was a book promo. Like, if they printed Mana Crypt the way they did back then today, people would be so upset if you had to, like, buy a book and send in a coupon to get a copy of this card, and that's the only way to get the card. So I think that's actually, if you go back far enough, I don't really blame the RC for banning the cards. I blame Wizards for printing them in the first place. It's even more sus if you get TCG player sales spike the day before for those cards. I have no doubt that people, like, if you were on the RC and you knew this was happening, why wouldn't you sell your cards? But I don't think that's a conspiracy. I have not seen evidence. If there is evidence and I haven't seen, show it to me. I have not seen evidence of some huge conspiracy where there was like, tons of people dumping their cards ahead of time, and like the RC is telling all these people and they're, all dumping their cards. I haven't seen anything that makes me think that happened. But isn't it insider trading? Well, No, because insider trading doesn't actually exist in Magic. Like if a lot of stuff that happens in Magic finance, if it happened in the stock market, it would be illegal and people would get arrested or fined or something. But there's no regulations in the Magic market. So legally speaking, no, because there's just no laws about it. Morally speaking, didn't Jim say that there's agreement while cards are in discussion they don't sell? Ooh, if he said that, that's awesome. But I have not seen any evidence that there was some sort of like sketchy thing going on behind the scenes with a ton of the cards being sold. Like I said, if there is something going on that I missed, let me know, because that's theoretically possible. But I just haven't seen any evidence that supports the idea that there was some big conspiracy of like insider trading selling off all the cards. I think this does hurt. Like, does this make you less likely to buy Magic cards? Because I think that's another really interesting, scary thought that makes open the hype chest. Wait, what happens when you open the hype chest? Golden Copper rewards for 24 hours? Wow! Okay. We did it, everyone. We're Golden Kappa. We're Golden Kappa. Choo choo. The Golden Kappa train is here. It's our donuts. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big subscription for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, we'll keep talking about this as we go along on our Golden Kappa train. Why didn't Wizards announce on the official BNR page? Why did Wizards announce? That struck me as weird too. I actually talked to someone at Wizards today who works for Wizards, and I actually asked them straight up, like, how much influence does Wizards have on the ban list? Like, is this a collaborative effort? Is this like, because I saw a post on Twitter with the RC, someone from the RC saying, inheritance for the 3rd month. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big subscription for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Because I saw a post on, yeah, the RC site also always crashes, so that might be part of it. They probably knew that the site was going to go down. But, so I was actually wondering, so I asked someone from WotC, like, how much influence does Wizards have on the ban list? Like, do they have, is this a collaborative effort? Is like, y'all get together and have a meeting and decide, like, we're going to ban these cards? Because someone from the RC said something about, like, we've been talking about this for a year with WotC, and from what the WotC people told me, they made it sound like they don't have any influence over the ban list, and it's completely the RC's doing. And when I thought about it, I was like, this kind of makes sense, because if WotC had control over the ban list, I don't know if they would have done this. I actually don't think they would have done this. Like, I'm not convinced that Wizards is happy about these changes, because Jeweled Lotus, Mana Crypt, and Dockside to a lesser extent, they make them a lot of money. So I don't think if Wizards actually was controlling this, I'm not sure Wizards would have made this ban list. So that kind of actually backs up the idea that the RC basically is doing this. And yes, there's some overlap with Wizards. They talk and they're friends and it's all in Magic. But I actually think that it was probably the RC that was like really doing this, and Wizards didn't really make this choice. Vanifrix, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Want to be a Mana Crypt or Jeweled Lotus? Bought them and never got to use them. Oh, I'm sorry, Vanix. That is the worst. Yeah, I think Wizards probably not thrilled about it. Yeah, it's kind of weird. Commander, Wizards controls every ban list except Commander. Commander, there's a rules committee that used to be what Sheldon Menery was in charge of before he passed away. But the rules committee still exists, and they are the ones that are in charge of the Commander ban list. Wizards can barely balance Modern. They definitely didn't do this. Yeah, I would be surprised. Just from a business standpoint, I feel like this would be a bad choice for Wizards, because they want to be selling Mana Crypts, not banning them. Because, like, a card like, what is the price of Jeweled Lotus? Oh, actually, all right, let me pull up this Jun list really quick. Let's look at this Psycho Smurf Jun list. Ooh, some winter action. Okay, say its name. That looks pretty sweet. I did not have much luck with winter during early access day, but the deck list does look sweet. That can't. All right, let's go to TCG player. Where's TCG? There's no way Jeweled Lotus is $90. What does Jeweled Lotus look like? Oh, that's actually okay. 50. You can buy one for $50 now. $50. What about Mana Crypt? Mana Crypt also does not have a ton of demand outside of Commander, right? Like, there's not Eternal Masters Mana Crypt 90, it was almost 200. Oh, basically cut in half. You can snag them for under $100 now. Yeah, Jeweled Lotus should be like the cheapest card in Magic, right? When it comes down to, it's not, where else can you play this card? Like, it's not legal in most formats. It specifically refers to a commander, so even though you can't play it in Legacy, what are you going to do with it in Legacy? So it seems like this should be basically a bulk card at this point. I will say, and here's another thing that I considered. I promise we're gonna play Magic. We're gonna start playing Magic. You can doubling Zeus combo it. That's true. It does work with doubling Cube. There's a lot of well-known streamers who are commander players who express disappointment in the decision, Kibler being one of them. Yeah, I saw that. There's definitely been a mixed reaction. There's definitely been a mixed reaction to it. Maybe we're gonna have to do against the odds, Jeweled Lotus and Legacy. Just to show people that it still has value. There's still something you can do with it. Yeah, I know the overall, the response has been pretty negative, I would say. I've seen some polls people have done, and it's like pretty close to 50-50, but maybe the negative side's a little louder on this one. But still, it is definitely not a universally beloved decision. What are the odds that these bannings get rolled back within the month's end? I lean towards no, but with the amount of backlash that there's been, like, so on one hand, rolling back the changes would get some goodwill with the 50% of the community that's very upset about them, but rolling back the changes would also potentially upset the other 50% of the community that's fine with the changes or thinks they're even a positive. So it's a tough one. I think it is unlikely that they roll back the changes, but not impossible. I mean, so all right, let's one more question. Two questions I gotta ask you, and then we're gonna start playing. Actually, let's do the reminders real quick. Replay YouTube, that's where you can find the old streams. Normal YouTube, lots of stuff, Dustborn stuff coming out. A shout out to our sponsor, Card Kingdom. If you need a Jeweled Lotus on the cheap, or maybe a Mana Crypt, you can get them over at cardkingdom.com/mtggoldfish. If you get a goldfish figure, just let them know you want one in your order notes. Question number one for all of you: how many of you actually own any of these cards? How, discounting Nadu, like, how many of you owned Mana Crypt, Jeweled Lotus, and Dockside? Like, is this something that hit a lot of players? That was one question I had. Like, how many people are hurting today because of this? Because, like I said, I own a Dockside from buying the Precon. I don't own either of the other two. I own none of the three. So it doesn't really have two Jeweled Lotuses and a Crypt. Pulled two Crypts. Those are the ones I feel, it feels bad that they were using Crypt to sell those fancy LCI versions, to sell Lost Caverns of Ixalan like a year ago. I own 9 of each. Oh no. Okay, so how are you feeling about this, Alorian? 9 of each is that's a big number. That's a big number. That's a really big number. Okay, so most people don't own any. Some people own a couple of copies, and a few people own a lot of them. I had 6 Crypts last month, but was dumping them for the reserve list. Good timing on that one. What are your thoughts on LED or Lion's Eye Diamond? Mox Diamond, I got those too. Okay, so a lot of people are concerned about the future. I would not be. I would not be... This is just my personal take. Here's my logic on this. So, in my head, and I like bannings. I don't like fast mana. I've been a proponent of ban more things in Commander for a long time. When I first saw this, I thought maybe this is going to be a new age of Commander where we see the RC actually really actively manage. And then I would be thinking, Mox Diamond, Soul Ring, not likely, but Soul Ring, Gaia's Cradle, Rhystic Study, Smothering Tithe. Maybe these cards could get banned in the future. My guess is, based on how this has went down, I would expect the RC to scurry back into its den and probably not ban anything in Commander for several years. That is my guess. If I was in the RC's position and I was getting all the hate and the anger, and I've seen some pretty mean comments from people, like personally, like, we need to go after people on the RC and things like that. Like, we need to go after them. People retweeting, like, just, I don't know, almost like doxing level stuff. Don't do stuff like that. Being upset is fine, like, perfectly fine. Sharing your opinion, that is great. You should be doing that, but don't let it get into the, like, personal aspect. But I think because of how badly this went, I would be surprised if they keep aggressively banning cards. I don't think they're necessarily going to walk it back and overturn these bannings. I think that's unlikely, but I am not expecting them to keep going down this path at this point, even though, honestly, if I was running the RC, I probably would. I still think cards like Armageddon and those cards, like the unwritten rules cards, I kind of think they should be banned based on the reaction I've seen from so many people today. Y'all don't really agree with me, but not banning Soul Ring is the most hypocritical thing in the whole ordeal. Yeah. I mean, I can kind of see what they're saying with Soul Ring. If I squint and think about it really hard, like this. Okay, so think about this. Legacy, there is no doubt that Brainstorm should be banned. By any reasonable metric, if you look at its play rate, how many decks it's in, how strong it is, its impact in other formats, there is really no doubt that Brainstorm is a card that should be banned in Legacy. It's like, it's off the charts. It's always off the charts. If we just go to, like, I don't know what the metagame percentage is right now, but if we go to the metagame percentages, I'm sure it's very high. 48% of decks, 4 copies and 48% of decks. It's ridiculous. It's always like that. They will never ever ban Brainstorm because they view it as essentially what the RC said. It's iconic. It's a foundational piece of the format. So even though by any objective measure it should be banned, it's not going to happen. Don't ask for it. I feel like that's how the RC is viewing Soul Ring. I think by any objective measure, especially based on the bannings yesterday, it should be banned, right? It does the same thing as Mana Crypt and Dockside, these fast snowbally starts. It does it even more because it's in every precon deck, but it's just not going to happen. So logically, yes, it should be banned, but sometimes it's not a rational decision, right? This is the problem, though. They're not rational actors. I mean, that's been a criticism it's been a criticism of the ban list for a long time, right? Like, the inconsistency is probably the biggest issue with the ban list. How would a card that most people rule 0 out or don't run be iconic? I don't think that's really true. Like, we house ban it. So there are groups that rule 0 it out, but if you just look on like EDH Rec or whatever, 85% of decks have Soul Ring. So I think most people are playing Soul Ring. 15% of us might be rule zeroing it out or house banning it out. But in general, everyone's playing. And this is probably inflated because it's in every precon. That's probably part of it. But still, a lot of people are playing with it. I actually think the Soul Ring thing, there's no way they're going to ban it when it's been in every precon. I think that's the real reason. If Soul Ring was not in every Commander precon for the last decade, or almost every Commander precon for the last decade, I think they probably would ban it. But the fact that it's in every Commander precon, there's just no way. So right now we're playing some Rakdos Carnage Sacrifice. This is a deck, so I realized, we'll go through the deck after this round, we'll look over the deck list, but I realized we got a Mayhem Devil in Standard, almost, in Popular Egotist, and I think there's a way to build a pretty sweet combo deck around it. We'll see if we can pull it off. Bitter Reunion, what? This card's in Standard? No. This card is in Standard. What is happening? Look at this all basic mana base. We're playing against Tomer. Well, Bitter Reunion, 2 damage to each creature, each opponent. Loot away a bunch of cards. I guess. Yeah, let's just take the... I don't know what to take here. They can do this next turn. Yeah, let's take the Bitter Reunion. That's fine. I convinced RC didn't ban Soul Ring because they knew the backlash would be humongous. I mean, that could also be true. I've made the mistake of saying on Twitter that I think Soul Ring should be banned before. Oh boy, I have three rules. There's 3 rules of the internet. 3 rules. There's only 3. Really? Well, okay, I think we need a change of plans here. Fabled Passage, sack Fable. This is not going super well. Opponent, don't make a sound. Don't make a sound. There's 3 rules of the internet. Mackerel Snow, welcome to the fishbowl. I think we're going to sack the bat. Actually, I guess we should attack with it first, but I think we're going to sack the bat. It's going to die to this Elder Dragon War anyway, so I think we just sack the bat. Sack the bat, get down the Viper. Hopefully they didn't draw another counter. I don't even know if we want an Egotist here. It's so good, but our board is super empty. Well, it does work with the Fable. You know what? We'll keep it. We'll keep it. We'll keep it. All right, here comes the snake. Opponent, can you beat a snake? There's 3 rules of the internet. Don't mess with Swifties. Don't mess with K-pop fans. And don't talk bad about Sol Ring. If you do not do those 3 things, you can survive the internet just fine. Once you start breaking those rules, things become very bad very quickly. And I've been on the Sol Ring side of that. I'm fine with the Swifties, fine with the K-pop fan, but yes, Sol Ring. I felt the wrath of the community on that one. I thought the phrase was Swifties, Coop, and life gain. Oh, is this an actual phrase? Maybe I missed it. I thought I made that up, and I was a genius. Too big to fail. Sol Ring, too big to fail. All right, Fabled Passage, Crag. Popular Egotist, I think might be a sleeper. It might be a sleeper. Grab a Swamp. So the idea of this deck, and like I said, we'll do the deck once we go to sideboarding after this game. Get it with a Viper. We kind of need this Viper to live. I do not know what our opponent's doing. Is it all basic land control? Opponent sacks and discards. Drops to 9. All right, hold. Come on, Snake. Come on, Snake. Opponent. Looking at the Viper. Looking at the mean girl. When you unlock this door, deals damage to a creature equal to the number of cards in your hand. Sure. So opponent's going to kill the Egotist. Play a tap land. And die to a snake. Die to a snake. Die to a snake. I like the idea of that. Oh, Viperdom. So chat. What do you think about, is there anything? Okay, so I know some of you said you don't want any bannings in Commander. Assuming you're not someone who believes there should be no ban list, is there anything else that you do want banned in Commander? If you're in the no ban list camp, then I get it. I had my best pre-release ever this Duskmorn. I went 4-0, opened a Damnation and a Black Overlord in the same. Wow, that is that is a bomby pack for limited. My God. Smothering Tithe. I am absolutely shocked that they didn't ban. Well, I'm not shocked, but I'm surprised that they didn't ban Thassa's Oracle. That one seems like the easiest one. The missing part of all this is, how many of you play CDH? Are any of you CDH players? Because I feel like, in some sense, I'm not sure how much this actually changes for most casual Commander players. I like that it minimizes perhaps the number of times you're going to have to have the rule 0 conversation about stuff. That's an upside. That's a nice little upside. But I don't think this changes the typical Commander, casual Commander game. I've heard a lot of CDH people be not thrilled about these changes, and it does seem to hit CDH relatively hard. They just made it into a 5-deck format. That's what I was wondering, because I don't play much CDH. I play now and then, but I was curious from the perspective of a CDH player what you thought about it. Because I feel like banning Thoracle is such an easy win. The fact that they didn't do that makes me kind of feel like, I don't know. I mean, they're up front. Ooh, there's the Carnage. That's our big combo piece. They're up front about the fact that they don't ban based on CDH, and I guess this kind of backs that up. It's still wild to me. Like, if they just came out yesterday and were like, hey, we're going to ban Thoracle and Nadu and Dockside, and by the way, we think fast mana is a problem in the future. We might be making changes to that. I think this would have went pretty much fine. Like, I do not think, wow, this is just like an is it control deck. I think that would have mostly went over really well with people. instead, they just banned all the most expensive cards, which rightly made people upset. I'm also curious what the RC was expecting. I'm also curious if the RC was expecting this to go over well, because like I said, when I first saw the announcement, I was happy about it. I was expecting a positive response. So I don't know if the RC was expecting a positive response and it whiffed, or if they knew this was coming. It seems like these bans don't really affect a majority of more casual player base. They already don't play with the high-powered cards. It hurts the high-powered players that are intentionally playing the explosive cards. It's so tough. I don't know what they do about this. I don't know how they change it. Like, it does seem like it can hurt high-powered players, but the RC is super upfront about, yeah, torch the tower. The RC is super upfront about how they don't ban for, wow, they are playing a lot of counters. Why are they playing Bitter Reunion? What are they trying to haste in? I'm so confused by our opponent's deck. Well, let's play a land. I think we play Egotist. I really would like them to counter this, because what we really want to resolve is the Hopeless Nightmare into the Disturbing Myth to set up the Pitiless Carnage, and then hopefully combo. We're just going to have to... All right, so that one gets countered. Sure. Hopeless Nightmare you. Make a discard. They even have Cavern. What is the finisher of this deck? What is the finisher of this deck? They have they're trying to resolve something with a Tally? Maybe it's a Tally? They're trying to resolve Dragon. Okay. They're trying to resolve something with haste. Well, let's play Disturbing Mirth. Sack the Hopeless Nightmare. Draw a couple cards. Ooh, Case of the Stash Skeleton. Is that worth? We're going to need a payoff at some point. So, oh, we also... Well, I guess this doesn't matter because we're going to crack this fetch land. All right, whatever. Sure. Bottom. Fable Passage. Crack it. We're going to crack it to get a Pitiless Carnage plotted. Yeah, Terror would make sense. Or maybe Dragonhawker? It could be Dragonhawker. That would be a good hasty dragon. Isn't make the format cheaper by banning more expensive cards good? I think from a casual perspective, I think they just sack that for fun. Okay. Sure, that is allowed. Hopeless Nightmare. Make you discard. About it. Wow, that was a Chandra. I'll play the land. Play the Viper. Sack the Mirth. Sure, it's going to get countered, but that's fine. That's fine. We get to Manifest Dread. Opponent counters it. Well, Fountain Port's all around. And pass the turn. Come on! Payoff. Oh, it's a Hellraiser combo deck. I see. I see. Thankfully, they did not hit the Chandra. That would have been way worse. Opponent. I'm going to kill our face down card. Well, that's, I guess, just full price of Viper. That's what they're trying to do. About it. Takes the beats. We will pass the dirt. Put her to taps. Come on, no Chandras. No Chandras, no Hellraisers. No Chandras, no Hellraisers. Tap land. Opponent gets in, hits us down to 16. Case of the Stash Skeleton. Well, combat. Viper, yeah. Viper is such a fast clock. It is such a fast clock. When it sticks, it's so... Are they dead? No, not quite. Opponent goes to 8. Opponent goes to 2. Season of Weaving in hand. We'll play the Case of the Stash Skeleton. We will Pitiless Carnage, sack and sack. Draw a couple cards. Do a little scrying. bottom and top. And then plot a Carnage. Play the Mountain. I mean, I think we can do the combo kill. I mean, I guess we just kill with the snake. But if they don't... If the snake dies... Oh, and a opponent scoops it up. That was a good Viper. Just wait until the RC starts really cracking down. They'll ban all untapped lands. So, I don't think the RC should ban cards because they're expensive. I also don't think... I don't think that the price of the card should play... I don't think you can not ban cards because they're expensive either. I think the solution... Here's the solution. It feels bad to get a $200 card banned, right? There is no doubt when you look at the price of Mana Crypt yesterday, it hurts. It hurts, it hurts, it hurts to spend $200-$300 of your hard-earned money and then have the card end up getting banned and crash in price and not be able to play it anywhere. Lennon, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big sip for you. Thank you. But you know whose fault this is? It's not yours for buying it. It's not the RC's for banning it. It's Wizards. It's Wizards' fault. When it comes down to it, the issue is Wizards letting these cards get to such a high price point. That's my biggest takeaway with all this. Like, I think we want... I know, we might disagree somewhat on ban philosophy. I want them to be able to ban cards as necessary. Like, I think that's a positive. Put that aside, though. The issue is... Mana Crypt, rather than look at Soul Ring. Soul Ring is as strong as Mana Crypt, maybe stronger than Mana Crypt, but it's like $2 because they put it in every pre-con deck. They could take and reprint Mana Crypt in a way that its price would not be $200. They could easily do that, but they chose not to because instead they wanted Mana Crypt to be $200, so then they could use it to sell the super fancy Ixalan yellow version of Mana Crypt. They could do all these special treatments and make even more money off of it. I think the biggest failure here is Wizards letting Mana Crypt, I don't know what Dockside was up to. I'm sure it was pretty expensive. Wow, Dockside was almost 100 when it got banned. Like, I think the biggest failure here is Wizards letting these cards get to these prices. This shouldn't be a big, painful thing to players, because players shouldn't have had to pay $300 for a Mana Crypt or $100 for a Dockside to begin with. They should have been reprinted in a player positive way, not in a Wizards positive, how can we make the most money way, and then they would have been like $20 or something. And yeah, it sucks if you lose $20, but that's not going to be I quit the game money, you know? Like, yes, it's still a bummer if you get a card banned, but it's going to feel a lot different if it's a $20 card rather than a $200 card. So I think that's the biggest failure in all this is Wizards letting the cards get to that high of a price point. They could have just avoided printing them to begin with, but once you make that step of printing them, you gotta not let them get to $200-$300. Like, we have a card from Lucid here. Oh, Marina, Roiling Dread, 4 mana 2/4. If a player would draw a card, except the first one they draw during each of their draw steps, the player exiles a card from their hand instead. If the player did exile a card this way, they draw a card. So essentially, if you draw an extra card, you still draw it, but you exile a card from your library first. When it dies, until end of turn, players may play cards they own exiled with it. Timing rules still apply. Emerge from enchantment 6. That's a really cool design. That's a super cool design. I like it. That looks super fun. I know you sent me your other cards, Lucid, too. I looked through all of them. They were super cool. You should apply for Wizards. Get in on the design game. All right, so what is this deck trying to do? Our first deck today, I'm calling it Rakdos Carnage. Here's the goal of this deck. It's a weird Rakdos sack deck. Carnage is Pitiless Carnage, which is we can sack any number of permanents. So what we're trying to do with this deck is we have 2 new uncommon payoffs from Duskmourn that like us sacrificing things. Popular Egotist, whenever we sack a permanent, Our opponent loses life, we gain a life, and then Sawblade Skin Ripper. On her end step, it deals damage to any target equal to the number of things we sacrifice during the turn. So what we want to do with this deck, we're hoping to play greedy freebooters and hopeless nightmares and bats and cases, just stuff that adds bodies to the battlefield. Hopefully stuff we don't mind sacrificing. And then we want to get down a couple of Egotists or maybe a Sawblade Skin Ripper, a couple of these payoffs, and then hopefully we just sack our entire board to Pitiless Carnage, all of our lands, all of our everything, and just burn our opponent out of the game on the spot, like a combo deck. If that doesn't work, backup plan is we can just snake you. We can sack that stuff to the Viper, that can still trigger the Skin Rippers and the Egotists or whatever, and then just win the game that way more fairly. So that's the concept of the deck. Basically, Mean Girl Tribal, I guess. Popular ego. I don't know if Sawblade Skin Ripper is a Mean Girl. Yeah, I guess in a different kind of mean, but yes, I guess also a mean girl. But isn't it the community who sets the price of cards? Yes and no. So in some sense, yes. Like, the community sets the price of cards by buying the cards, right? So if no one bought a Mana Crypt wouldn't have any value. On the other hand, Wizards plays a pretty large role in it because so players essentially control the demand side of things. Wizards controls the supply side of things. So if demand for a card goes down, it would make them less valuable. But if supply of a card goes up, that'll also make them less valuable. That's where Wizards fails with like the Mana Crypt or the Jeweled Lotus, is just the supply is so low that the price gets out of control based on the demand from players. If they had reprinted this in a more high supply, look at the reprints. There was Double Masters, and then it's all like weird special guests, Kaladesh interventions. Like, I guess Eternal Masters is also on there. That's to be fair. So a couple of master sets. But many of the recent reprintings are like the super scarce 0.03% of collector boosters. You get a fancy yellow version or whatever. When if they had printed it in a more high supply way, it would have really made a difference. Yeah, all right, go Hopeless Nightmares. Apparently we're a nightmare deck now. Amelia was less than $5 and banned under a year after its creation. Crypt and Lotus have been legal for even while Crypt was 20 plus years. Honestly, in some ways, Crypt is the one that hurts me the most as far as the bannings. As far as how it plays, I think Commander is better off without the fast. Like, I guess part of why I like these bannings is these are cards that we have had house banned on Clash forever. Because we all just firmly feel that Commander plays better without the fast mana. So I think that's part of why I liked the bannings, is it just lines up with how I see the format and how I like playing the format, which I'm sure is some sort of bias on my end, but that's part of it. I think, well, what do you think about the Commander bans for both casual and CDH? So I can't really speak to CDH. I just don't play enough CDH, so I will default to... So it's Commander Clash's fault there, man. I mean, it lines up with how we play the format. I don't know about it really being our fault. We're not on the RC or anything like that. So Green Ramp's gonna be more of a problem now. I don't really buy the argument that much that like non-green decks need Mana Crypt to keep up. Green is definitely OP because of land ramp, but I'm not sure that a Mana Crypt in your 99 cards actually really changes it. I agree, Seth. For a while, I felt like we need to ban fast mana, which friends laughed at and twisted. All the Mana Dorks and Rocks should be banned as well. I've always encouraged people to try it. That's kind of my take on it. Like, give it a go, give it a shot, and see what it feels like when there's not fast mana in your games. Because my experience, and maybe your experience will be different, but my experience has been Commander is way better. Do we just draw 3? Sack everything? I guess. All right. We need some action. We need some action. Pitiless Carnage. Sack you and you and you. So sack through. Oh no, that's a lot of lands. We get to scry about 1,000,000 times. Make a treasure. When this enters, okay, I think, actually, wait, Can we make a fish? 1, 2, we can't really. All right, that's got to go bottom. We need something that's actually adding to the battlefield. You want to see Delirium Aggro? I got a Delirium Aggro deck. It actually seems pretty good. We can give it a try if it's something you want to see, Lucid. There's a Skin Ripper. Is that good enough? I really want something. All right, we're gonna go bottom. I kind of want something to sack to this Disturbing Myth. Deep Cavern. Okay, let's try it. I don't know if this is great, but we're gonna try it. Pass the turn, take our beads. The other thing I realized about these bannings is I think a lot of Commander players who just never dealt with bannings. I think... Oh, Disturbing Mirth. Wait, Mirth? Mirth? Are we discarding 2? Yeah, I guess. Wait, is this a discard deck? Are you making us discard opponent? Well, I mean, play the bat. Take the cut down. Play the Fabled Passage. Pass the turn. Mirth. Oh, so he's just doing that for fun? I'm a little bored. Let's let's open up the whole brain here. I'm a little bored. Let's do a self-lobotomy. Check out my... Did you know... I don't know if this is true. My sister told me this the other day, and I couldn't believe it. Maybe some of you know. Did you know that apparently some states, lobotomies are still legal? That blew my mind. I could not believe that there were actually states in the United States in 2024 where lobotomies are legal. Oh, that's the disturbing part. I see. Opponent gonna level up the bandit's talent. And we might have to sack a bunch of stuff. A ghost vacuum. That's cute. Well, let's crack the Fabled Passage. I think we need to make a fish here, even though it means sacking our treasure. So sack the treasure, make a fish, because we need it to sack to the Disturbing Mirth. It blew my... Yeah, the lobotomy blew my mind. But seriously, how could we be doing that in 2024? You taunt lobotomy in psychology, quite disturbing. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I guess in some sense, we just didn't know any better, but it blows my mind that we ever thought it was a good idea to just, like, chop into people's brains. That is... It is wild. Maybe they're fun. I mean... I don't know about that. It doesn't sound very fun. Maybe this dude would enjoy it, but all right, yeah, we get drained. We draw a Viper. We go to combat. We get in with the bat. We need to draw something soon-ish or we're gonna die. Disturbing Mirth. Disturbing Mirth. Sack the fish, draw a couple cards. Ooh, wait. Oh, it's not enough. So we got the Pitiless. Play the Blackcleave Cliffs. So Skin Ripper's hitting for 1. What does this do? Choose 2 creatures that are controlled by the same opponent. That player chooses one of those creatures. It deals 5 damage to that creature. The other creature can't block this turn. Is there a way we can make this work? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think we just gotta pass. We take 3, 4, 5. Yeah, we gotta pass. We need, if we can draw one more payoff. If we can draw one more payoff, we can just combo kill. By sacking all of our permanents. That's the hope. We need to find one more mean girl. We need one more mean girl opponent. You gonna exile the greedy freebooter? Sure. Gotta say, I've been religiously listening to your podcast for the last year and a bit, and I love your guys' content. Well, Mr. Dr. Spiffy, welcome to the stream, and thank you for the kind words. I'm glad you're enjoying it. How many of you are doing Vegas? I just realized we're like a month away from Vegas now. Found it, leveling up the bandit's talent, getting in with the Mosswood Dread Knight. Well, it comes down to this is a huge turn. We need... yes! Oh my god, this works. I believe this works. Get in with a bat. Oh my goodness, the combo kill. Hit ya. Down to 14. Egotist. Wow. How about a little skin ripping? And Rakdos Carnage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Actually, maybe we got to keep that 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Keep the bat so they can't cut down. Oh, they don't have black mana. Okay, we can sack that. 8. Sack it all. Oh, we got him. Oh, no lands. The reverse. Flawless victory. Will it be in Vegas? Yes, Magic on Vegas. The Goldfish crew will be at this year. Wow, it worked. And now we just go to our end step. Skin Ripper, 8 ya. Woo! Everybody grab a leg indeed. Wow, I cannot believe that worked so well. Oh my goodness. Wait, so do we think they're a Delirium deck? The Mean Girls come through. We got a little lucky. We did need to draw a second one, or we're gonna be short on damage. But Pitiless Carnage is a cool card. We might have broke it. Did we break it off? Hey, come here, Cease. Come here. Come say hi to the people. Here, Cease. Look, Cease. Psst. Come here, Cease. Come here. Cease. Come on. That cat does not listen to me. So do we think they're deliriuming? Cat. Should we be bringing Leyline? Do you think it's like actually a delirium deck? Come on, Cease. Didn't finish the pod yet, but if Blink is an S tier, oh, you might be disappointed. Oh, that's actually a cool question. What would you rank? What is your S tier archetype for Commander? That was today's Goldfish pod or Commander Clash podcast. Bear sometimes listens. Bear, I swear, you guys, you would all think it was hilarious to see me taking Bear for a walk, because Bear, he listens pretty well sometimes, but when he is done, he will just like plop his big butt down on the side of the road and he will just sit there. Like when he is done with his like walking and exercising, he is done. I also realized, and I didn't even think I was going to share this story because everyone I've shared it with so far was like, duh, like, how did you not know that? I realized, and this blew my mind, Bear was like sitting next to me and kind of his like head sitting on my leg. And I was just kind of petting him under his chin and his legs started flopping and going back and forth. I was like, that's weird. And I stopped and his leg stopped. And then I started petting him again and his legs started going. And I thought it was some crazy thing. But then the people I told about that were all like, yeah, that's a dog thing. How did you not know that? So maybe it's not as cool as I thought. Do we keep? We got the case. We can try this. Yeah, apparently that's a real thing. Yeah, I had Blink as A tier. For me, the number one archetype. I was surprised. I had Voltron very high too. The rest of the crew not as high on it as I was. Everyone agreed Artifacts was really strong. That was one of the easy ones. Everyone agreed on Artifacts. Any idea when we get news on upcoming sets? I think it's Magic's first that we don't know the name of the next standard set. So we know Foundations is coming in November. Kind of like a... Yeah, I guess we gotta discard the Egotist, sadly. Oh, okay, we got another one. So let's play the land, play the Case of the Stashed Skeleton. Make a little skeleton pass the turn. Okay, but what's S tier for fun in Commander? S tier for fun's a lot harder because it really depends on... It really depends on your... Jeez, chill. Chill, Bandit's talent. Alright, we'll discard 2. Man, we were getting a little wrecked here. A little slightly wrecked. Well, play the land, play the Egotist. So this is just a discard deck? Maybe we gotta be bringing in the enchantment removal. As an employee from an LGS, and a player, I have a unique perspective. Fast man is a problem at times. I don't view JL as it. I see it as restrictive ramp. Doxon understands people's opinion on. Now let's greedy freebooter. Disturbing mirth. Sack the freebooter. Draw a couple cards. Keep another mirth. Do we just hold everything to play? Well, we got to play a land, right? Let's play the Fountain Port. Pass the turn. We just need to keep enough cards in hand that these Bandit's talents don't kill us. That's number 1. Oh, yeah. Oh, my goodness. That was the big news of... It's so funny. The big news of yesterday morning was... And we haven't even talked about this. Did you see the Marvel cards? They actually... The big news of yesterday morning is... The best I can tell is someone who works for maybe the Secret Lair printing factory decided it would be a good idea to essentially just take a bunch of the cards from the factory and sell them through Facebook Market. So little leak news. If you don't want to see a leak, avert your eyes. But the end result is someone actually like put up a bunch of these Marvel cards for sale on Facebook Market. I think it's very likely. Yeah, it's the most ridiculous crime. It's like the stupidest crime. How are you not gonna get caught? How are you not gonna get caught? Wording, Wolverine's wording is inconsistent. Oh, hitting the Skin Ripper is actually kind of good. Oh my god, check this out, check this out, check this out, check this out. Fabled Passage, crack Fabled Passage. So we've sacked 2 things now, right? We've sacked 2 things. Grab a Swamp. Flip up the Skin Ripper. 3 things. Cast the Hopeless Nightmare. What a turn, what a turn. And to turn, shoot down the last thing, Jasper Flint. Wait, is Sawblade Skin Ripper actually good? Maybe we actually did break it. Did we actually break it? This deck could use a Boiler Biggles. Yeah, so my guess... Ooh, speaking of Overlords, my guess is someone mentioned the wording on Wolverine being inconsistent. Not sure what that's referencing exactly, but it's possible that these are cards that they printed at the factory and then like threw out, and then the employee took them and decided to try to sell them. So maybe they're like slightly earlier versions of the cards, something like that. So that seems like a possibility. Can we win here? 19. So this is 20. 1, 2. So we can sack this. Sack this. Definitely getting Pitiless Carnage. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we can't quite win. So I think we just... Wait. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, let's just plot the Pitiless Carnage. Get in and hit you with Menace. Go to the end of turn. Ping it for 1. Down to 15. Soulblade Skin Ripper might actually be good. Which decks have you built in the past that have broken formats? I mean, all of them, right? We break a format every week. I mean, from a real standpoint, I don't know. Hammer Time, maybe. Although Hammer Time, I don't know if built is completely fair. There were other people also working on it around the same time, but we were like very early on the Hammer Time thing. That's probably the closest to like a deck that broke a format. Mono Red Prison, I don't think ever broke a format. That's the deck that I'm most confident that like more or less created without anyone else really. But it never really broke the format. Well, let's play a freebooter. Can we? So we can't attack. I guess we just Viper. Actually, let's play the Mountain. But then it triggers the Bandit's talents. Sacrifice Disturbing Myth. Play the Viper. Manifest a land. I think next turn's the big turn. The other cute trick with this deck that we haven't seen yet is because Sawblade Skin Ripper triggers on our end step, we can float our mana, sack our board, hope to draw into a Skin Ripper to play, and then play it and get the damage on the end step. Have you ever built a deck that became so popular you regretted building it? No, I don't think I've ever. No. I like when people play my decks. I don't know. There has been, the Heartfire Hero Sack deck on Arena. That deck did get annoying. I guess there's been some standard decks that I at least helped popularize that ended up being annoying. But in general, I like people playing my decks. All right, we get drained. I mean, this is the turn, I think. We draw Hopeless Nightmare, so we can play Hopeless Nightmare. Play Hopeless Nightmare. Make a discard. Play the Black Cleave Cliffs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, float all of our mana. Pitiless Carnage. 1, 2. We're going all the way. There's no fear. There's no fear here. No fear here. Everything but the snake. Sack them all. Yes, there it is. There it is. There it is. That is the synergy we were talking about. Get some scrying. Doesn't really matter. Wait, maybe we actually did break it. Maybe we actually did break it. Soulblade Skin Ripper. And yeah, I guess we might as well run this out. No reason to even attack. We have 21 direct damage on our end step. Maybe this deck is actually sweet. I wasn't sure how good this deck will be, but this deck's actually kind of killing it. Are you going to post a video on the leaks? Probably not. Usually when it comes to spoiler videos, so I know we mentioned on the podcast yesterday, we did talk about them. When it comes to doing spoiler videos, I usually try to wait until the cards are official. Talking about them on a podcast casually is one thing, but doing a full-on like spoiler, this is where the card's going to be good. We don't even know if they're like legal in Modern. Like, are these secret lair cards that are from the main set going to be legal in Modern? Or are they just promos that aren't legal in Modern? So probably no spoiler video until we get more info. We will have more info middle of October though. They're doing something at New York Comic Con. Panza, eh? This deck might actually be sweet. Hey, Boiler Biggles Panza. Trinisphere, nice. This is spicy. I like it. I like it. It looks cool. I mean, I do love Panza, and I like the flare plan. It's a little inconsistent, but when it works, super good. Dance Hanada Dance. Hanada's a cool commander. What is the theme? Self-milling as many artifacts and enchantments in the graveyard as possible. Win by using Dance of the Mance while being not on the battlefield. Ooh. That's a cool synergy. Dance of the Mance. Where's Dance of the Mance? Dance of the Mance is a cool card. Dance of the Mance. 2 and X. So return X target artifacts or enchantments from your graveyard to the battlefield. The mana cost X or less. If X is 6 or more, they become 4/4 creatures in addition to its other. Throne of Eldraine was such a busted set. So many strong cards in that set. It's not completely changed, just adding a tweak because they're really wrong. Like Dockside would still do it. Which of the bands do you like the most? Even if you're a no bans person. Let's say you're a no bans person. Do you like any of them? Are they all the same to you? I feel like Nadu's the easy one. I feel like Nadu's the easy one that like pretty much everyone is gonna be okay. Is there anyone in chat that is unhappy that Nadu was banned? I guess outside of if your opinion's just nothing should ever be banned, then you get a free pass. But assuming you believe some cards should be banned, I feel like Nadu's one we can all be in agreement on. Really, even Nadu. I'm sad I bought Nadu for the 99. The Nadu story is so funny. It's so funny. How did Wizards make a set called, ooh, wow, Calyx and Caretaker's Talent? That's a lot of talents. Well, I think we got to take Calyx because we can't answer this. Caretaker's Talent's not good for us. That's eventually going to pop off and be very bad, but not yet. Oh, there's a Skin Ripper. Well, let's play the Fountain Port. Play the Skin Ripper. Smack you with the bat down to 17. The Nadu story is so funny. They make a set called Modern Horizons. They design a commander card for it. The commander people at WotC think the card's too miserable for commander, so they change it to make it a better commander, and then they ban it in every format. Do you think Skin Ripper is better than Mayhem Devil? Like in Pioneer, no. I don't think so. Ugh. All right, there goes our Skin Ripper. In older formats, I don't think so. Just because, let's do this. Well, yeah, we'll hold on to it. Let's Disturbing Mirth. Disturbing Mirth, sack the Hopeless Nightmare. So the reason I think it's, oh, there's an Egotist. Bottom. The reason I think it's not as good is the damage doesn't trigger to the end step. It also doesn't hit creatures. I think Popular Egotist is actually very close to Mayhem Devil. I could even see an argument that it could be better. It really depends on how important is pinging creatures on occasion. Like, Popular Egotist does what Mayhem Devil does, but it has a little protection built in and life gain built in. It just can never ping creatures. So I think that's close. Skin Ripper, it's a better body. The menace is nice. It's nice that it's also a bad sack outlet. Like, it's got a lot of... Ay. Nisa. Oh, dear. Okay. This is looking a little worse. Looking a little bit worse. Why are they playing this? Oh, that's going to make some big tokens. That's going to make some big tokens. I know, that's my favorite part of that. Why is the match between Mark Justice and Mike Long in the Best Plays video looking like it's from a snuff film? Why are they playing in a scary dark room? That is about one of my favorite parts of that video. Like, the room's dark and creepy. There's like an old fax machine or something. I thought they were in like a closet somewhere. And this is like the Finals of Worlds. The Finals of Worlds from a closet at WotC. Wait, why are there two of these? Oh, they made a copy? Oh, God. Well, these don't have reach, right? My goodness, this is not good. This is not good. Popular Egotist, Fabled Passage, crack it, drain ya. Grab a Swamp. We're going to need to find the Carnage. We got to find the Carnage, and we got to find his suit. Opponent's popping off. We got the Egoist. How many permanents? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Not quite. Not quite. Opponent going to grow the dork. And combat. And attacks. Well, block with the freebooter. Sack the freebooter. Scry and treasure. Drain ya. Deep Cavern Bat, I don't think does it here. Down to 19. Opponent down to 9. Oh, come on now. Oh. That's really bad. Okay. Well, we might be dead this time. We might be a little dead. Opponent, too talented. Too talented for us. Just a bit too talented. In errata heuristic setting and smothering tide, they give you twice as much stuff. You know, because they're too weak as they currently are. What do you think? Oh, we were close, too. Well, Hopeless Nightmare. Make you discard. Hit you to 6. How can we possibly do this? The thing is, we need multiple draws, right? That's kind of the problem. We have multiple draws, and I don't know if we have multiple turns. Because we need a payoff for sacking stuff, like a Skin Ripper effect, and we need a way to sack our stuff. And I don't think we can do it all. I think we could have blocked with the Egoist on she gains Indestructible. Didn't end up mattering, though. Yeah, I kind of wanted to sack the freebooter to Scry anyway, to try to find a way to close out the game. So we can make a fish. We can sack the treasure to draw. We might have to do that. We might have to do that. That is a big upside to Skin Ripper, is the damage afterwards. I don't know if that matters for like a modern deck, but it is a big upside for our deck. Have you seen any Helping Hands Abhorrent Oculus decks? So we saw a couple of those during early access day. Have not seen any yet today since the set went live, but basically it looked a lot like the Monastery Mentor decks that existed before, except with a Oculus thrown in. Starting to work on a deck. Can we win this? We're gonna have to get lucky. I mean, opponent's at 6. We have ways to just combo kill. Wow, opponent's like a straight up talent deck. The question is what is our best chance? I think we have to draw an extra card. Because we need like Rakdos Carnage, basically. 1, 2, 3. We need Rakdos Carnage. So I think we just have to, we need to draw multiple cards. So I think we have to sack the treasure. Draw a card. That is not it. Oh, there's a Skin Ripper, but opponent's at 5? It's not enough. It's not enough. Oh man, we were so close. Even through that Sunfall, we were super close. Super close. But now we're yeah, their board's too big. We can't survive, right? We can play the bat, chump here. Chump here. Chump here. Well, all right. I mean, we can run it out. I think the odds are low, but wow, another Sunfall. Ping your face down to 4. If we have to block with the Skin Ripper, though, then we don't really have a way to win again. This was actually super close. Christoph, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Just died turn 2 from an opponent who mulliganed to 5. I imagine that might be happening somewhat often in Duskmorn Standard. Good afternoon, Seth. I listened to the podcast yesterday. Have mixed feelings about the EDH bannings. I don't know if the fast mana being banned is good for those who want high-powered games of EDH. That's a good point. So do you think high-powered games, do you mean like CDH or high-powered like non-CDH? Hey, what's up, Winzo? How are you? Yeah, the red ley line can do some crazy things. So that block's there. That block's there. This copies an enchantment. Sure. Oh, it still doesn't work because they can copy. They can copy their silly removal enchantment. Maybe they won't think of it. It's hiding under a land. All right, they're going to draw cards. I mean, technically, we're still drawing live as long as the Skin Ripper stays out. Fauna grows the Calyx, draws a card, draws a card. Hold, hold, hold. Come on, Skin Ripper. If we win this, this would be spectacular. Ah, they drew into it. All right. Well, there's some enchantments going on. I managed to diamond with blue-white control yesterday. Hard work since the is full of mouse. Red deck wins, but clawed my way there. If you want to check it out, hey, let me see too, good buddy. Are you playing? Wow, what happened to the top of our arena? Best of 1 or best of 3? Looks like best of 3. Thunder Trap Trainer, sweet. I feel like that card should be good. Yeah, it looks like a solid control deck. I like it. I've been thinking we might have to do a control. Might have to do a control video. Withering Torment, I guess, can come in. We just don't have. We don't have a ton of ways to deal with enchantments. Maybe we got to bring in the Urbros Forge. Oh, hey, what's up, Shadow God? How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. So I think that the banning's probably bad for CDH. Just based on what I've seen CDH players saying, it seems like in general, it seems like CDH players are kind of not thrilled with the bannings. High-powered casual, I don't think we can cut Pitiless Carnage. What can we cut? If we don't bring in, maybe go 1 Forge, 1 Viper, something like that. I feel like, hey, hello from the U.S., Smash Crusher. Good to see ya. What's up, Shadow God? Hello, hello. I feel like high-powered casual, yeah, I mean, I guess people like to play in all different ways. I would say in general, I think decks that are playing Dockside and Mana Crypt and... Ooh, all right, we got the payoffs. I think decks playing Dockside and Mana Crypt are not super casual in general, but everyone can play their own way, so I mean, I hope people are excited. It seems like the initial reaction I've seen from CDH was, I mean, I guess it's all mixed, but I would say mostly negative. Renin Realmbreaker, Nisa. Well, let's take Buried in the Garden. We're just going for the combo kill. We're going for the combo kill. We came here to do a thing, which is combo off and make you die. Opponent's going to draw all the cards eventually. I don't think we can stop them from drawing all the cards eventually. However, we might be able to kill them before they draw the cards. Get in, hit ya. Run out a Egotist. We need a Carnage. We need a Carnage. We need a Carnage. Found it. Fountain Port. Very good at drawing Sulphurous Springs. We need the Ice Age Sulphurous Springs. Caretaker's Talent. Yep. Well, let's Fabled Passage. Crack Fabled Passage. Ping ya. Get a Swamp. Duracia. Caretaker's Talent, Temporary Lockdown, Renin Realmbreaker, and Nisa. How much does Renin Realmbreaker matter? I guess it shuts down a couple blockers. Temporary Lockdown gets the bat, which gets... Yeah, maybe we just got to take Temporary Lockdown. Play the Skin Ripper. Ouch. hit you for 4, ping you for 1. Down to 12. This is going to be close. This is going to be super close. Oh, we actually have a room deck coming up for our video tomorrow. So I haven't played against Room yet today, but I like rooms. I think rooms are actually like a bit of a sleeper arc. No, opponent. We had the draw. Well, let's play Case of the Stash Skeleton. Play a Fountain Port. Hit ya. Oh, we gotta go for it. We gotta go for it. Sack the skeleton. Drain ya. Salve the case. Down to 7. So if we draw a land, we can get the Carnage and combo kill. Our opponent can't go super aggro with this Nissa because they can't afford to play a bunch of Phyrexian mana without just dying. Running around break. We might be getting this one. Yeah, I was surprised by how good rooms are. They actually felt good. We'll see how they do against like the full-on non-early access meta. All right, opponent Nissa down to 5. Well, if we draw a land, we win for sure. Egotist. So if we play Egotist, we sack. We hit you for 1, 2, 3. Is there a way we can play around a Sunfall's the question? Like, what if they top deck Sunfall? So I think we wait. Let's just sack the case. Hit you to 4. Take the Ouroboros Forge. Play it. Hit you to 3. Sack it. Hit you to 2. Hold. Hold. We're so close. Caretaker's Talent. I don't think we, in theory, need Carnage this game. All right, they're going to blow up the Forge. That's fine. As long as I don't top deck a removal spell, then we should be able to just win with the Egotist, I think. Kind of working. Do you think that there will be more bannings? Do you think this is the first of many? The first of a new philosophy? All right, Builder's Talent, that's fine. Wow, opponent goes to 1. All right, I think our opponent has given up. Given up on this one. Goes to 1. Draws some cards. I mean, opponent's drawn more cards, but we're doing more killing. We are doing more killing. Opponent Innkeeper's Talent. Sure. Gonna go to combat. The wall looks like a bird, but it doesn't actually fly, which is good news for us. Personally, I'm happy about the 2 cards that were named finally getting hit by the hammer, which are Dark Side and Nadu. But if you look at cards like Mana Crypt, where else can you play that card? I believe there's no other home for that card. Yeah, although Jeweled Lotus, I think, is worse in that regard for me, because like at least Mana Crypt was printed 30 years ago. It was printed 30 years ago. Jeweled Lotus was printed really only to work in Commander. And it was over $100. And now that card, you literally cannot play it anywhere. If I was running it, I'd ban Ancient Tomb and Soul Ring and Gaia's Cradle. I'd ban the Fez. At this point, I'm wondering if I would. That's what I would do before yesterday, but seeing people's reaction to this, now I'm kind of like, maybe I wouldn't actually, because people seem very unhappy about it. Yeah, I mean, that's the big difference. Ancient Tomb, I think, in Commander is less powerful than Soul Ring and Mana Crypt. It's still very good, like, it makes extra mana, but it's less powerful overall because, like you said, it does take your land drop. When the artifacts are on top of your land drop, run it back. So what's your hype level for the Marvel cards, based on just that tiny Facebook Market leak? What do you think about, how is that set gonna go? Yesterday's one of the craziest days in Magic in a while. It really is. It is wild what a crazy Marvel and the leaks. The thing that concerns me about Marvel, and I'm not an X-Men person, I'm not a Marvel person. The designs seem like they're fun to play with. Like that part seems good. All right, let's just Hopeless Nightmare and hope that we draw land for next turn so we don't have to Fabled Passage. We'd like to just sack it and draw a couple cards, and then we're kind of off to the races. Every time, see, I don't know much about Marvel. I don't know much about the X-Men, but it seems like whenever I see it come up on the internets lately, it seems like there's a lot of people being critical of Marvel now, which, like I said, I just don't. Ooh, there's a Carnage. I don't know Marvel. So for me, do we put Fountain Port to the bottom? Probably. Actually, do we? Maybe we don't. Let's keep it. Let's keep them both. But yeah, that's what I was wondering. Is Marvel, like, not popular anymore? Do people not like Marvel anymore? Because I thought Marvel was, like, the hugest. Like, you know, S tier, biggest property in the world. I guess the new Deadpool did really well. I'm kind of hyped about it too, because now I guess I gotta learn about this thing everyone else knows about. I gotta actually learn about X-Men now for some reason. Caretaker's Talent. So do we advance our game plan? Or do we have to deal with the Caretaker's Talent? Withering Torment seems good here. Yeah, I guess we just have to pass. Let's pass. We really don't want our opponent to start drawing with the Caretaker's Talent. That would be disastrous. Opponent's only got 3 cards in hand. We can get one with a Hopeless Nightmare. If we can get rid of the Caretaker's Talent, we might be good. People got product fatigue, and the quality of films have stagnated. Man, is product fatigue just a worldwide phenomena? Is it happening everywhere? Because I feel like we talk about product fatigue in Magic a lot, but apparently it's happening in other places too. Opponent gonna try to copy. All right. Well, in response, we will blow up the Caretaker's Talent so our opponent doesn't get to draw cards. We will play the Egotist. Fabled Passage, crack it, drain ya. Down to 16. Schwamp. Hopeless Nightmare. Down to 14. Make you discard. So we can't quite win next turn. Maybe in 2 turns if we get lucky. Buried in the Garden. All right, there goes our Egotist. Sure. Well, let's Deep Cavern Bat. Get rid of that last card. Play the land, and we're just going to... Yeah, let's just plot the Carnage. Plot the Carnage for the future. Pass the turn. Do you think that even with the proliferation of Marvel or the movies getting worse or whatever has made it not as hyped as it was like 5-7 years ago, do you think it'll get new players in? That's what I'm really hoping for. Like, Marvel's just such a big part of the culture that I feel like it should be a good way to introduce people to the game. Like, hey, here's, you know, I don't know, Spider-Man, is that even part of Marvel? Yeah, you're Spider-Man. Like, we got Spider-Man in our game now. That's what I'm rooting for. I've quit Magic since March Stone Rain. Really? I've quit Magic since March. They released too much and I've lost interest. The fact that it's difficult to teach a new person what's in Modern did it for me. That's sad, Stone Rain. I mean, I can understand the feeling, though. Here's Vitega. Vitega. Did I say that right? Vitega. I think I'm learning. Let's play a land. Yeah, let's Viper, I think. How much? Yeah, I guess we can just full price it. Yeah, let's just full price the Viper. Run out the Viper. Get a trigger. Opponent, would you like to discard or sack? Another Caretaker's Talent off the top's not great for us. Go to combat. Hit you with the bat. Down to 14. Pass the turn. Opponent taps. Opponent draws. It's just a land. That's pretty good for us. Oh, we're getting close. So opponent can Anthem their tokens, and will Anthem their tokens. We draw a Fountain Port. Well, go to combat. Do some attacking. Trigger. How greedy are we, chat? Do we go for it? Do we go for the hope it's in our top whatever win? How many things can we sack? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9? 9-ish? 9. Wow, opponent sacks all their enchantments. Surprise. Which hilariously shrinks their... I don't think this is what our opponent intended to do. They sacked their Caretaker's Talent, which shrunk their tokens. Oh, an opponent scoops it up. An opponent scoops it up. Wait. We might have actually broke it. I'd love to teach Seth how to play Star Wars Unlimited. Yeah, it's just, man. It sounds cool. There's so many new TCGs, like One Piece, Star Wars Unlimited, Flesh and Blood. There's been a lot that have come out over the last couple of years. Hey, what's going on? What's going on, Panthro? How are you? Good to see you. The challenging part is... Wait, I said the line? What line did I say? Did we break it? The challenging part is they're just expensive, right? It's hard to get into too many TCGs. It takes a lot of money and brain power, and that always scares me off of like delving into other TCGs. I just don't know. I don't know how people do it where they play like 2 or 3 TCGs. I don't know how people manage, but yeah, it does sound cool. I played Hearthstone the other day. How many of you have ever played Hearthstone? I swear, and no offense to Hearthstone players if you're watching this. My God, that game. Sometime we got to do a salty Hearthstone stream because Hearthstone makes me salty. Is it possible to be good at Hearthstone? Especially, okay, so I'm talking about like the drafting in specific. Like, is there? I come away from it feeling like there's not a lot of. I don't know if it's just that I'm bad at it or that there's not a lot of skill in arena, like the arena mode in specific. I think I must just be bad at it. It feels so alchemy-ish. Where it's like you're doing things and you're playing the game, and then it's like my thing discovers another thing that discovers another thing, and now I'm dead to this thing that why is it even in their deck or whatever. Like some of those get me. I don't know why it makes me so much saltier than Magic does. For some reason. 2 cards to the bottom. Oh no. Yeah, this is not good. Not good at all. We might need that. I guess we put Egotist to the bottom. I guess we try it like this, although 5 cards, not a lot, not a lot, not a lot. Oh no, mono red. I mean, it's still fun. I enjoy it. I don't play it a ton, but I don't know. Hearthstone's one of those games I get in the mood and I play it a bit for like a few months and then I don't play it again. Can you take a look at this deck? I mean, it's a white elephant gift, Seth. Still need to make a couple of cuts. Let me know if you have any recommendations. Yeah, let me take a look. Ooh, Sergeant John Benton. Sergeant John Benton is actually incredibly strong. Richard played a Sergeant John Benton deck on Commander Clash, and it just ran away with the game. I think Sergeant John Benton is such a powerful commander thanks to its card draw mode that I think the deck's probably going to end up pretty good. Yeah, I think you're probably on the right track. Like, play Benton, get it down, pump it. Yeah. I think it looks solid to me. Playful Shove in a mountain. Well, that's it. Get in with the skeleton. Hit ya. Play a Hopeless Nightmare. Ping ya. Playful Shove. I mean, imagine they're going to kill a skeleton with it at some point. We are on 5 cards here. Case's that skeleton, number 2. It's alchemy-ish, but it's also not alchemy-ish. Alchemy is not Hearthstone enough, I think. That was my other takeaway from playing a little Hearthstone, is I was kind of like, why isn't alchemy more like chaotic, I guess, or just like more random? Like there's this spell, it's just like, I think it's like 8 mana, and it's just like cast, I want to say 6 or 8 random spells. Why don't we have a magic version of that in alchemy? That would actually be, oh, that's actually a very good draw. That would actually be kind of hilarious. Okay, I mean, Pitiless Carnage is a good draw. Hit you with the skeleton. Opponent goes to 14. About it. Mountain. Brask. Okay, that's very concerning. Hit you to 12. Wow, can we not win here? Oh my goodness. Don't have wisdom teeth. How you doing, Mega Magikarp? My wisdom teeth were a disaster when I got them out. It was so bad. I had an extra one, so that sucked, and then I got the dry socket and had to get stuff back. Oh no. Don't remind me of wisdom teeth. At least you only got to do it once. You do it once and you're done with it, but boy, it was not fun. I don't know how we handle this turn. Get in, hit ya. Down to 12. So if we play Skin Ripper, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Not lethal. We could play Skin Ripper and sacrifice random stuff to kill the Urabrask. That might be the most realistic plan. Let's play the Skin Ripper. Fabled Passage, crack it. 1 permanent sacked. Oh! Alright, our opponent hates everything good. Sure. Well, yeah. So we're probably losing to Urabrask. Virtue of Courage. Opponent hits us. We draw a greedy freebooter. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay, we're in full on risk mode. We're in full on risk mode, but we got to do it. All right, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. All right, here we go. We're gonna YOLO it. We gotta YOLO it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we get to go 10 cards deep. If we have a Sawblade Skin Ripper, we win. Otherwise, we almost certainly lose. Pitiless Carnage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Come on. No. No, no. Oh! No! Come on! Oh. Magic gods. Magic gods. Oh. One permanent short. That's unfortunate. Is there anything we could do? Egotist doesn't work in this situation. Yeah, I think we're dead now. All right. Man. Wait, what are you trying to figure out, Shadow? Could you edit this to put some green Overlords in, please? Oh, let me see what I can do. I'm not sure. I think you might have been cut off by the character limit a little bit, but let's toss it in a deck list and see what we can see if this even works. Oh, yeah. You're probably gonna have to send it to me in a different way because I can't go through and sort that all out at the moment. But yes, if you can give me a list, I mean, what would I change? Splunking Elspeth might. Huh. What is your ramp now? Are you not playing any ramp? I think the easiest substitution is just playing instead of Heaped Harvest or whatever the normal ramp spell is. Why can't you stack the triggers before you draw with Carnage? That is a good question. I'm actually not sure. Because my first thought was you should be able to do that as well, but it just doesn't actually work. Do we want Duresses? So opponents... We can't lose to Urbrask. Please no, Magic Gods. Not that. Not to Urbrask. I thought Urbrask was going to be good, too. I was hyped for Urbrask, and then Urbrask did not exactly work out. All right, let's try something like that. Oh, right, yeah. Because Carnage is on the stack. Yeah. So you gotta... A card has to fully resolve. That makes sense. Because it's not a trigger. It's just a card that works in 2 parts. So you gotta completely... Well, this is a fine hand. You got to completely resolving the card first. Well, land and greediest to freebooters. Oh, about it. Mountain and... Well, go to combat. Get in. Hit you with the freebooter. I would like to Disturbing Mirth, but I'm a little worried that our opponent's going to shock. So let's just Deep Cavern Bat. Take a peek at what's going on. Yeah, sorry, opponent. Grab a leg. Grab a leg, opponent. Everybody grab a leg. Hey, see you, Mother Frogger. Thanks for hanging out. Oh, about it. All right. Shocks the bat. Sure. How do you like Razorkin Needlehead? Ooh, Artist Talent Screaming Nemesis. Spicy. I think Needlehead's a very powerful card. In the right deck. You gotta be in the right deck for it. But in the right deck, I think it's a very powerful card. Well, let's just get down the Sawblade Skin Ripper. Hit ya. Down to 18. Don't really care too much about Screaming Nemesis. Go to combat. Hit ya. Down to 70. Fabled Passage. Sack it. Turn up! Welcome to the Fishbowl. We'll try another deck after this. Thank you so much for your... This deck seems really good, though. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you. Sack the freebooter. Draw some lands. Keep the pitiless carnage. All right, pass the turn. Do we win next turn? We're going to be close to winning next turn. Down to 12. We have to go for the throw so we can kill the Urbrask. I guess this fully leveled up with Urbrask kind of scary. Every trigger hits for 3. All right, opponent takes it up. No! Oh, wait. Oh, wait. Does that work? Does that get us? If a source you control would deal non-combat damage to a permanent opponent. All right. Huh. So I guess we sack. No, we don't want to do that. All right, I guess that just works. Oh, that's unfortunate. Artist talent popping off. Hey, I'm doing well, Corby. How are you? Oh, all right, there goes our Skin Ripper. So much for winning the game this turn. Well, let's Pitiless Carnage. Play the Fountain Port. Pass the turn. We need a payoff. How are you today, Corby? About it. I mean, we will kill the Urbrask. The Urbrask is not going to beat us here. Opponent's got a lot of instant speed, an annoying amount of instant speed removal. All right, Ren's Resolve. Kill the Urbrask. Get pinged. Opponent's deck actually looks kind of cool. I don't know about if being mono red is necessary. Pyroclasm in a mountain. Sure. And another Ren's Resolve. Urbrask and Lightning Strike. Well, hopeless nightmare. Ping, yeah. So are we dead? They play the Urbrask. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. How can we do this? Man, we needed that Skin Ripper. We needed that Skin Ripper. One, 2. Oh, we can't play the Viper? I mean, if we pass, we die, right? If we pass, we die. Well, I mean, I think we got to pass. I don't think we can... Man, we're going to lose to Urbrask. What are your thoughts on the commander bans? All right, let's see if we live. I don't think we do. Well, I mean, I guess at least we died to something janky and unique about it. Lightning Strike makes some mana. Loots. Down to 9. Sure you did it, opponent. Boo! Talk about using red deck wins. Will you change your Fog and Aggro deck with new cards from Duskmourn? I don't know if Duskmourn really offers that deck a ton. So, wow, Arena's going all goofy. I don't know if Duskmourn really changes it a ton. Definitely worth looking at, but there's not anything. What would I even add to it? Is there anything that's worth it? So it's a mono white, so it would have to be a white card. I mean, maybe there's some like customization around the edges with like you could play a split up somewhere or something. But yeah, there's nothing that really jumps out to me as being an obvious There was no fog, right? There's not a fog that I'm missing. Yeah, nothing really jumps out as being an obvious update for that deck. Are we going to play any of the Overlords? Maybe the Cat Glimmer. We can try the Nico deck. The Nico's an Overlord deck. It's got Overlord of the Flood Pits. It's got Overlord of the Mistmoors. So the Sack deck, I think, is actually really good. I think the Sack deck felt very like synergistic and pretty strong. I know we lost that last one, but I mean that's gonna happen when you run into a weird brew, and they kind of got us with the weirdness of their brew. Nico Blink, though, I think Nico Blink looks interesting. So the idea of this deck is we have Overlord of the Flood Pits, we have Overlord of the Mistmoors. It started out as, how can we make Nico work? So Nico's ability, when it enters, it makes 2 shards, and then you can play 2 exile a non-legendary creature. Your shards become copies of it. So Nico really wants non-legendary creatures. They have combat damage triggers or attack triggers, something like that. So I think the best of these in Standard, Overlord of the Mistmoors, Overlord of the Flood Pits, they're non-legendary. They work with Nico. They also happen to be enchantments, so we get some extra synergy out of like Gremlin Tamer to make some 1/1s along the way. So the hope is we can play a Nico, we can blink the Nico maybe with Scroll Shift to get even more shards, and then we can use the Mistmoors and the Flood Pits with Nico, turn them into shards, attack, get you in one big turn. We can also impend the Overlords and then use Scroll Shift to blink them and get them back in normal form. So that's essentially the idea of the deck. So let's do a little Nicoing. Let's see if the Nico deck actually works. I asked in the comments, did you have a sideboard for the Eerie budget deck? I want to bring it to F&M. Ooh, I could make you one real quick. I didn't actually make one up because I played it best of one. But I think I would be looking at something like 3 or 4 counters, like negates indisdainful strokes. Maybe like what else would go in that? Removal. I guess especially if sticking on a budget, it would probably be like three or 4 counters, 3 or 4 removal spells. If you're send me an email, Seth or saffronolive@mtggoldfish.com, and I can put one together for you real quick. Yeah, I don't know why the arena is doing that. But it's release day. It's release day. Weird things happen on release day where you should just be thankful that arena's actually functioning. Normally it doesn't even function. I think the camera might be fixed. All right, let's see if this Nico deck, can this Nico deck actually work? Is Nico a good card? Elspeth Smite's good against aggro. I also like, what is the Unwanted Remake? Is that the... Oh no, Unwanted Remake. I think Unwanted Remake is actually a bad card. That's not a card I would really play anywhere. I think the only way I would see playing Unwanted Remake is if I was using it to hit my own creatures. If the goal of the deck was to use it on my creatures to manifest, that I could get behind. But I think using it on your opponent's creatures... Wait, what does this say? Whenever an artifact enters, you gain a life. It's the first time put counters on. All right, let's... Sure, you get to gain all the life. We're going to get rid of the Surge Engine. Oh, about it. Hits us. Well, play the land, Seacrum Ghost, and get down the Caretaker's Talent. Go. I personally think the Commander bans are good, but I don't like the financial hit. Do you want the rules committee to take more actions? Are there any other uses for the ban cards, or do you think that they go the way of cards like Anti or Shahrazad that aren't playable anywhere? Here's... Oh, can you just send me the link, Shadow, and then I can look at it super easy. Well, this is going to be a decent Bisa, I think. And we have a Scroll Shift. Yeah, let's do a little Bisa-ing. Gain a little life, draw a card, draw a card. Why did we draw? Oh, one from the Caretaker's Talent. Yeah, that was a very good Bisa. Here's a sneaky theory. What do you think about this? So we were looking at the prices of these ban cards earlier, and they have already dropped a ton. Like, they have dropped a ton. I almost think that they could be worth buying. I almost think that they could be worth buying. Yeah, I think we're just blinking the Biza here. So block with a fish. We got all these blink spells, so we might as well use them. Actually, I guess we should play the Surveil land. Surveil away the land. Blank the Biza. Make some fish, draw some cards. Ah! We didn't even get to the Nico. Our opponent wants no peace. Wants no peace. Here's my theory. With those cards getting so cheap, that was exactly my theory, Guru Sword. My thinking is that this ban list update makes it even more likely that CDH becomes its own format with its own ban list. That's something that had already been being tossed around by the CDH community, considered back and forth for a while now. But seriously, over the past few weeks, I think this ban list, which if you listen to some of the tinfoil hat versions of it, some of the CDH players or people associated with CDH feel like this almost targets them, or it's the RC saying do your own format because it just targets such heavily played CDH cards. I think it's theoretically possible that what ends up happening is CDH splits off into its own format, and cards like Jeweled Lotus Mana Crypt are staples in that format, and suddenly are they going to go back to $300 for Mana Crypt or whatever the price was before? No, but are they going to go up from $20 or whatever the price is with everyone dumping them? Possibly. Not financial advice, because it is also very possible that doesn't happen. So I'm not telling you to go out and buy those cards, because I think it's not a super high chance. It's definitely a possibility, but it's not 90% or anything like that. So definitely not financial advice. Don't go buy a bunch of Mana Crypts in hopes of that and then be mad if it doesn't work out. But I could see those cards eventually gaining back value because of CDH splitting back and do its own thing. That was what I was trying to say. Northern Vanguard for this 61st month. Welcome to the Fish Bowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup cheer for you. Thank you. Yeah. Let's do a little trimming. Just a little trimming. And run it like that. 20k worth of Mana Crypts is about 5? You got 5 Mana Crypts? So it's more than a playset. Do you like the bans at all? Personally, yes. Which is, I was surprised by this, but an actual hot take apparently, because a lot of people don't like them. I honestly think the bans make Commander better, casual Commander better. I really do. I know there's pain associated with it, the financial loss associated with it. There's definitely a lot of downsides. I think the communication could have went a lot better. There's a lot of things that could have done better. So if you're upset about this, I get it, and you have legitimate reasons and feelings. Personally, though, I've been preaching, I think casual Commander is more fun without fast mana for years now. That's how we played on Commander Clash with our house ban list. I have found those Commander games to just be better. Here's my problem with fast mana. Fast mana leads to games where one person draws their fast mana, they get this extremely explosive start, and then either they run away with the game, or the rest of the table has to team up on them and take them out of the game. And I don't think either one of those outcomes is really what I enjoy out of Commander. The games I like most in Commander are the games where everyone kind of does their thing, everyone gets to have fun, they kind of do their thing, and then someone ends up winning. Those are the games that I want to see more of. The games where one person does a thing because they got fast mana, and then they either die and sit there and look sad for an hour while everyone else plays, or they win. I don't think those are very appealing games. So I like the impulse of the fast mana banning. I also very much agree that it's gotten worse because of, I think our opponent's done. It's gotten worse because of modern card design. It's gotten worse because of card design. The cards have just become so much more snowbally, and I think that's the biggest answer to why now. Not why now, like why this announcement, but why ban these fast mana cards in 2024 and not like 5 years ago or 10 years ago or whatever. And I think the answer is the cards have gotten so much more snowbally that those games happen more often and they're even less possible to come back from. So I think that's actually not really, because our opponent wasn't there. I take the smiley face thing way too seriously. So that's kind of my feelings on it. How do you feel about Ghostly Dancers? It seems much better than I initially thought. Ghostly Dancers is busted. It is busted. Tomorrow we're playing some rooms for Against the Odds, and my God, can that card do things with rooms. I think I overlooked how synergistic it was with specific rooms. Like, being able to open 7 mana value worth of rooms for 5 mana and add a bunch of bodies to the battlefield is actually super strong. I know you were a Storybook Brawl fan. Have you tried Once Upon a Galaxy? It definitely scratches the itch. Ooh, I haven't. I'll have to look it up. I haven't played it super recently, but I played for a bit. Oh, is this one that... Is LSV involved in this one? Interesting. I'll have to check it out. I played Fairy Tale Fables for a bit, and I kind of liked it. I know some people, when I first talked about it, some people were mad because I guess I had AI art at the time. And I know apparently it's a situation where it's just like one person who likes Storybook Brawl made the game, and they're like trying to get real arts in it and so forth. So I guess that might be a deal breaker for some people, but it is very close to Storybook Brawl as well. But I have to check out the new one. Check out this custom commander I made, if you don't mind. Part of a 4-color commander cycle, that features rarely used keywords. All right, let me take a look at this. Let's play on the island. Up the beanstalk. Well, we have 2 get loss, which is probably reason enough to blow up the beanstalk. MX03 Astral Titan. So a 4-mana 0/5 spells you cast from hand. Each player cast from hand have assist. So another player can pay spells. Total generic mana cost. Colored mana must still be played by the caster. And then whenever a player assists in casting a spell, they may choose to either scry X or create a XX giant creature, a giant spirit, where X is the mana paid. Ooh. That's a neat design. That seems like a really fun commander card. I really like the... Is our opponent... Oh, they're playing Winter? Oh boy. Okay. Do they have Delirium? Yes. So our max hand size removed by 4. Awkward. If I do say so myself. Well, I guess this is Ward 2. All right, let's just pass. Let's pass, get our free winner cards, and then probably end up killing this winner. Ooh. Those are some Overlords. The only thing I would say about this card, I think it would be a really fun commander. I don't know about the scry ability. I feel like... So let's say I pay 5 mana towards a spell. I feel like I'm going to make the 5/5 like a huge percentage of the time compared to scrying 5. Maybe if I'm really desperate. And yeah, this is kind of the downside of Winter. We both draw 2 cards and Winter dies. Maybe if I'm really desperate for like a Wrath or something. But I wonder, could that be like... How about like scry? What about scry X and then draw a card? That would make the scry mode, I think, much more on par with the creature making mode. But yeah, it definitely looks sweet. I think one of the sneaky... yeah, let's just... Actually, should we impending this? That might be better. So we can impending this, draw a card. Or are we trying to set up Biza? That's the other question. Yeah, let's just impending it. Overlord of the Mist Moors. Make a couple flyers, draw a card, pass the turn. So I think one of the sneaky upsides of the banning that we haven't really talked about is as much as it sucks to have a very expensive card banned when you own it, I think in the long term, it does kind of make Commander a little less pay to winny, if that makes sense. Like, yes, it sucks that people are losing money on cards that they paid for, no doubt. But I do kind of like that there's now less $200 cards in the format that people might feel like they have to keep up with the people who are playing those cards. I think that's like a fringe upside. Yeah, Biza might be a little aftermath analyst. What is going on here? Oh, we're gonna lose to these silly fly traps. Okay. Yeah, this seems very bad for us. Very bad for us. So, well, Novice Inspector, draw a card. We don't have any Sunfalls or anything in this deck. Play an Island. Overlord of the Flood Pits, draw a couple of cards. Discard the tap land. And, yeah, I mean, these things are going to get so big. Hit you down to 15, unimpend. Now I see why everyone plays Sunfall. Should they have axed things like Mana Vault, Grim Monolith, Mox Opal, given their stance on fast mana? From my perspective, yes. From the Commander RC's perspective, and this infuriates me. It infuriates me, but they like this idea of like, I can't remember the exact term they use, signpost bannings or whatever, where it's like we ban cards, and then because we ban these cards, players get the message that they really shouldn't play other similar cards. You know, and it's this whole mess of unwritten rules. And so I really hate the unwritten rule, like, shadow ban aspect of it. I imagine that's their thinking, though. I think Soul Rank's probably a non-starter, because it's in so many precons. Hey, what's up, Michelle? No, how are you? Good to see ya. Ugh, another Balmerk. Not looking good, not looking good. I have gained a bit of respect for Omnivorous Flytrap. This card is kind of massive. It is kind of actually huge. If you can turn on Delirium and opponent on the beatdown, yeah, we just don't have an answer for this. Overlord of the Mist Moors, eh? Well, I mean, cast it. Flyers, draw a card. Block, block, block. I'm not sure we even survived this turn. On impend. These fly traps are so good. The Rampade is garbage. Let people have their fun. I mean, if you like the fast mana stuff, then I hope you keep having fun with it. Like, I think that's the great thing about Commander, right? Is if like you play with people who enjoy a certain play style, you can play that play style, and yeah. And it doesn't really matter what anyone else thinks. Like, it doesn't matter what anyone else thinks or says or what's on the ban list. Like, none of that actually matters. And I don't think I added any Graveyard Hate to this deck. I did not. My Kingdom for Rest in Peace. Yeah, that's probably going to be a bit of a concern. Perhaps a slight bit. We have not drawn a Nico. I want to see if Nico's even any good. And we just have not drawn Nico, like, at all yet. So we bring in a couple Sunfalls. Overlord of the Flood Pit's fine. It's solid. I think Miss Moore's is the most busted one in this deck, but they're both good. The idea that Overlord of the Flood Pit is just bad is kind of silly. I still think it's like probably the least powerful in the cycle, but I think the least powerful in the cycle is still a very playable card in this case, because I think it's just like a very strong cycle of cards. Yeah, we can go down one Scroll Shift, maybe one Gatekeeper, try it like that. Yeah, maybe it would be worth bringing the lore in. Not banning Thoracle is wild. That is wild. Also, a reminder, if you need any of the cards we talk about today, you can get them from our sponsor Card Kingdom over at cardkingdom.com/MTG Goldfish. We're going to mulligan this one. All right, I guess this is somewhat better. I mean, they're not likely to draw every Fly Trap again. I have 4 Temporal cards. Extortion, Manipulation, Mastery, and Trespass. And they're all my Vowel Smasher in my Vowel Smasher Chrome Ludovic. Wait, what is Vowel Smasher or Vial Smasher? Do you have is Vowel Smasher the name of the deck? Seth, the bans push Commander towards a more constructed philosophy when it's meant to be cards that you own. Hey, there's a Nico. The bans push Commander towards more of a constructed philosophy. So, by constructed philosophy, yeah, let's just play this. Let's play this face down. Get and hit ya. Down to 18. Can we make Nico work? Vowel Smasher. Vowel Smasher. Vowel Smasher could be a real card. Vowel Smasher definitely seems like an unset card. Ooh, Overlord of the Hauntwoods. Whoa! Oh, Up the Beanstalk's kind of ridiculous with Up the Beanstalk's a little bit ridiculous with these Overlords, isn't it? I hadn't even really thought about that, but that is actually really, really good. Let's pitch the Biza for now. Play the land, hit ya. Wow, you can impend and draw off the Up the Beanstalk's gonna go wild. About it. Raccoon Theater. Yeah, unlike the prototype cards, these actually trigger Beanstalk. Yeah, that seems very good. That seems very good. I don't know if our Overlord of the Flood Pits is going to be able to match up to this. Renin Realm Breaker.
I will give you all the time.
And fires up the land. Hits us down to 15. We do kind of need to hit our land drops. Yeah, let's scroll shift it. So scroll shift the Overlord. Get it back as a real boy. Draw a card. We hit our land just barely. Discard one of our Nikos. Anchorage. Novice Inspector. And pass the turn. Hope for the best. Are you looking forward to the X-Men like Black Panther, Seth? I'm not an X-Men Marvel person, really. Like, I think the leaked cards that we saw look cool. And I actually really like how they looked like they would play as Magic cards. Like, they have good mechanics, they have good abilities, so I like the cards quite a bit. I just don't really care personally that much about Marvel, because I've just never been a superhero / Marvel / X-Men person. But the cards themselves look fun. Wait, is Vega an X-Men? Is that a Marvel? What did you think? So, if you saw the cards from the Facebook Market League, yeah, I don't know what an X-Men is, honestly. So I'm probably gonna get many of them wrong. What did you think of the art style? Now let's impending the Overlord. Discard a Seachrome Coast. Play the land. Get rid of the Aftermath Analyst. Get rid of the Renin Realmbreaker. Okay, that was not a bad turn. That was not a bad turn. Unimpend. Oh, I wish we had Graveyard Hate. This would be so much easier. Yeah, see, I don't know enough about I was the one who know nothing on the podcast just because I didn't grow up with comics and stuff. So I was curious if the art style or whatever is actually something that a lot of people thought was weird, or if it was just a Richard thing. I think the art style should have gone deeper. I mean, the other thing is, I fully expect there's going to be a bunch of versions. Like, just look at the One Ring. I think the One Ring's the best example of this. Like, there are so many One Rings. You have the actual One Ring. You have the bundle One Ring. You have the showcase One Ring. You have the borderless One Ring. You have the movie poster One Ring. You have whatever this One Ring is. You have, are there more than I'm missing? But borderless movie poster maybe, and then they all come in foil, and then the one of One Ring. I think that it's going to be the same with Marvel. Like, if there's an art style you like, odds are you're probably going to get cards in that style, because I expect they're just going to go crazy and do a whole bunch of versions of the best cards from the set. All right, here comes the Overlord. Well, let's crack our Fabled Passage. Get a Plains. Play an island. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Let's impending an Overlord. It seems challenging. It seems challenging to find time to get Nico on the battlefield. That's kind of what we're running into here. Pound it. Lets everybody draw. Finds an Overlord of the Balmerk. I mean, we can maybe blow our opponent out here. We're going to attempt to blow our opponent out here. Pound it. Overlord of the Balmerk. Draws a card. There's how the Beanstalk's popping off. Do you think the Green Burrow will ever get more play for its enchantment artifact board wipes? I think that's possible. I think enchantment sweepers is becoming much more palatable. Ooh. Nimra's Fry Trap, but becoming much better in our post Dustmorn world. So I think that could get it into sideboards. There's also Cease Desist, which could serve a similar purpose. But yeah, I think the ability to just blow up all the enchantments on the battlefield actually could be pretty good post Dustmorn. The art style feels like tops. Well, I don't know how this is going to go wrong, but I expect it will somehow. So let's flip up our Gatekeeper. Let's blink the Overlord of the Mistmoors. Blink some more tokens. Block, 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 block. And I guess we'll block the Beastie too. Block, 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 block. Tons of blocking. Wait, is Lecture Hall's bugged? Really? Wait, why is Lecture Hall bugged? Hey, good to see you, Melk3. How are you? Welcome, welcome. Do you guys know if we're getting more drops in the Halloween Secret Lair, or do we have them all? This spoiler season for Secret Lair has been a little scattered. I'm actually not 100% sure if there are more to come They aren't up on the site itself yet. Opponent loves this beastie beatdown. And draws a card. This thing's up to a 7/7. Well, let's play a Nico. I don't even know if it's correct to play the Nico, but we're gonna play the Nico because I really want to make Nico work. And then we will stay on defense past the turn. Unimpend. Getting closer to turning on this Overlord of the Flood Pits after many, many turns. So there's not a secret lair spoiler page. Oh. Okay. Interesting. Opponent also trying to speed up their Overlords a bit. I mean, opponent's deck actually looks pretty solid. I don't know about the Winter. I'm not sure Winter makes the deck better, but... So this is at the beginning of combat. When it enters or attacks. Well, kill the Overlord. Opponent goes attacking. Yeah, Nico. Yeah, maybe there's too many steps to make Nico good here. Because we also need, like, an impending creature turned on, right? Turning all of our shards into insects. Probably not going to win us a game. We really need to have, like, the White Overlord. But our opponent's going to try to kill the White Overlord. Do we have even more removal here? No. Well, we'll block. Drop to 8. Ancient Cornucopia. Why not? Add that to the mix. The Green Overlord, the extra mana, pretty strong. Pretty strong. Commune with evil. Draws some cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we can play White Overlord. We can play the Blue Overlord, and we draw Sunfall. So we can play Blue Overlord, turn our shards into Blue Overlords, hit, draw a bunch of cards. That's cute. Does it keep us alive? I guess we also get back the Overlord. And this, you know what? Let's try it. We came here, we wanted Nico. Let's Nico and see if it works. So play the Overlord, draw 2, discard a land. Nico, gonna do the thing. Exile the Overlord. Would be nice if we had a couple more shards, but get a couple of Overlords, get in, hit you for 10. Discard a Caretaker's Talent. Oh, there's a White Overlord. There's a White Overlord and a Caretaker's Talent. Hit you down to 8. Play the Plains. Play the Gatekeeper. End of turn. Get back the real Overlord. Discard the Seacrum Coast. All right. I mean, not dead yet. Not dead yet. Not dead yet. Does a token make the Green Overlord count for landfall? Landfall is a land enter the battlefield, so yes. It will trigger landfall. So where do I find secret lair spoilers on the site? We don't actually have like a secret lair spoiler page that I'm aware of. Boiler Biggles! No. Oh no. Oh, we're gonna get Boiler Biggled. Every time. This card just kills people. This card just straight up kills people. Own it. Kills their Overlord of the... I mean, I think we've seen literally every Overlord in this match, which is kind of funny. Bound it. Just gonna kill everything? Sure. Boiler Biggles. Well, I think the takeaway from that match is... that, Up the Beanstalk is gonna be busted in the standard. Hey, what's up, Daniel? How are you? Any Doomsday today? I don't know if we're gonna get to it or not. Maybe. Hey, what's up, cats? Boiler Biggle and me. Up the Beanstalk looks very good with all those Overlords for sure. Yeah, the Overlords are gonna be very good. They're gonna be very good. It's kind of funny to see. I mean, I guess a good thing. It turns out that the Bloomburrow kind of had a minimal impact on. Wow, opponent is mulliganing out of this game. Oh, look at the creepy TVs. It turns out that the Bloomburrow, for as cute as it was, and as much as I like that set, I feel like it ended up having not as big of an impact on standard as I was thinking it would. Like the tribes just kind of flopped. Like lizards, I guess, kind of made it, but really, you build a set around 10 tribes. I guess mice are like kind of there, so you can say 1.5 of them actually made an impact. I feel like Duskmourn's gonna have a lot bigger impact because a lot of its best cards aren't limited to only one deck. Yeah, I don't think I've seen this this battlefield before, but it does look sweet. Got the 80s cassette player even. There was a time. Oh, is that it? Wait, is that a Super Nintendo? That kind of looks like, look at that controller. I saw this documentary. What was it? Ocean Gate? What was the thing that sank? I saw this YouTube video. This YouTube video popped up in my recommends. And it was like, oh yeah, Ocean Gate. You know, this guy, he's gonna like explore the ocean. He's a genius. Like he's disrupting the industry. And then he hops into it does look more like an NES controller, doesn't it? He hops into his submarine and he was like, yeah, we steer it with this PlayStation controller. I was like, oh my God, there is no way I would get on that. You could not pay me enough to get on the weird billionaire guy sub with the video game controller. No, a video game controller. Yeah, it was one of the knockoffs. Even when I used to play PlayStation, I remember playing with my little brothers. We'd play like 4 players, and there was 3 good controllers in one of the knockoffs. It was one of the knockoffs, and there was always a fight over who would have to play with the knockoff controller because no one wanted it. No one wanted the knockoff controller. Let's just play another Caretaker's Talent. The risk of this line is we could get batted, but double Caretaker's Talent into Overlord of the Mistmord seems pretty good. Yeah, that blew my mind. That blew my mind that someone would... Oh, wait, can you... Oh, you can turn them off. Wizards. Wizards. I mean, I know they've started doing less animations, which is kind of a bummer. But the battlefields are sweet. That was my other takeaway from playing Hearthstone recently is... That's actually pretty cool. It's kind of musical. Other takeaway is that Arena looks really good compared to the competition. I think that Arena just like aesthetically, the battlefield and so forth is just like better looking than Hearthstone is. Brothers hoods and sure about it. Are we gonna sweep the board? Are we sweeping the board? No. Well, we draw a scroll shift. We are just going to impend an Overlord of the Mistmores, make a couple of flyers, draw a couple of cards. Whew, all right, we hit a land, play the land. Flood Pit's got to go graveyard. We got one in hand anyway. Pass the turn. In limited, eerie triggers animate the TV. Oh, that's actually... Okay, we're going to leave it off. We're going to leave it off and see if anyone does. Oh, there's eyes in here too? And you can scare them away? Wait. Oh my, the real game is just this battlefield. You get to play like whack-a-mole on the eyes. Hey, out of here. I saw you. You get to play whack-a-mole on the eyes. You get to turn the TVs on and off. Oh, these ones go away too. Hey, oh, this is way better than losing a game of Magic. Was Bloomberg like this too? This is the first battlefield I remember with all this stuff hitting in it, where you can pop the eyes, you can scare away the things hiding under the floor, you can turn on and off the TV. You can't open the door, apparently. Candles? Can you put out? Oh, you can't put out. Oh, you can. You can put out the candles. Oh, we haven't. Are we going to play? We got to turn the TV on first. Is that doing things? Oh, I don't think the NES does anything. Well, play the land. That's actually super cool. That's way cooler than I realized. This battlefield's sweet. Well done on that one, Wizards. Let's just discard a meticulous archive. And yeah, we'll just pass the turn. We'll pass the turn. Don't mind us about it. Nothing is bad about to happen. Nothing is impending, so to speak. Hello, Silver. How are you? Good to see you. Seth, probably better. Yeah, that's on my driver's license. I got it updated. The old lady at the DMV wasn't happy, but I told her Twitch. You know, had to do it for Twitch. That didn't really make her happier, but we made it. Overlord of the Mistmords into a real boy thanks to the scroll shift. Draw a card, make some tokens, which will trigger a caretaker. Found out we chill with the killing. Chill with the killing. Well, we get to draw a couple cards thanks to the caretaker's talents. I mean, this is fine. Even if they're killing our stuff, we're just like drowning them in card advantage. Can anyone suggest to me a good budget deck? I'm new. Actually, Burning Souls, I just made for the YouTubes. Yesterday, I went on the YouTube, a budget Azorius Eerie Auras deck that I really like. So I would recommend Burning Souls. Perhaps checking out this deck. Cheap to put together, and I gotta play more of it. It was mostly I was playing on early access day, but it felt very solid. So I think there's actually some good potential to get some wins with it. Well, that's Caretaker's talent. Max Rebo, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big Super Jeffrey, thank you. The roadmap in the middle of the battlefield makes a moth. Wait, the roadmap. Oh, yeah, you're right. There's the head and there's the wings. Oh, it's a Velgavoth reference. Oh, this is like a map of the... I don't really understand. Here's something I don't understand. Spirebead about this set. How is this in a haunted house, but there's also like outdoors? There's like woods. Did you see the lands? Do you see the basic lands? They're like, there's woods and outdoors and like, how is that taking place inside? I don't really understand the intricacies of this house, I guess. Let's copy this token to draw some cards. Finally catching you live. Love your content. Have been inspiring me since the early Against the Odds when you Etherflux did Standard. Wow, you've been around for a minute. Yeah, Etherflux Standard. That deck was sweet. That deck was super sweet. Are there any non-budget upgrades you'd make to the blue-white Auras deck? So the mana base can be improved. That is probably the easiest thing. Let's keep the Nico. Get rid of Ibiza. I think the deck in general... I don't know how much I change. I gotta do more testing with it because it plays kind of like Boggles almost, where you do this load your thing up with Auras game plan, and I'm not sure I change much about that. Like some of the Auras we're playing here, going big with like the White Overlord or whatever, seem kind of appealing, but they also are a little slow for the kind of Bogglesy game plan. So I really got to do some more testing with it. at first glance, I would say there's nothing like super big that I'm like, oh, I really wish I could be playing this card, but I couldn't because of the budget. But like I said, with more testing, maybe you go a little bigger, less Bogglesy, maybe go more Bogglesy and make it even more efficient. But yeah, off the top of my head, I don't think there's anything major. Hull Creeper, I don't know where I stand on that card. I have not really got to play with it. Well, let's team some gremlins. Tame a gremlin, Caretaker's Talent, trigger the gremlin tamer, draw 4 cards. We might actually mill ourselves out here. Draw, and then play you face down. Yeah, 4 Caretaker's Talents might be too many. we might have went a little too far. Let's start a scroll shift. Are you going to build a Tale of Tameo deck for Against the Odds? Maybe. I'm not sure what to, like, what would we build with it? So far as I've gotten with Tale of Tameo is just like, hey, I'm a graveyard deck and I can use it for value. Is there something more to it than that? Like, how would you build around it? I'm actually curious because I hadn't really thought about this as like a build around. I thought of it as like, whatever. I can just play in a graveyard deck for value, but I hadn't really considered building a deck around the Tale of Tameo. But maybe it could work. I guess trying to double hit with the first lore counters is kind of funny. If you could like draw your entire deck with it or whatever, that would actually be kind of hilarious. I don't know how realistic it is, but well, that's all right. We're gonna Nico. We're going to try to do the thing our deck wants to do. So we Nico. We unfortunately draw a million cards with Caretaker's Talent. So many cards. Too many cards. Novice Inspector. Make a clue. Seachrome Coast. Get Lost the Harvester of Miseries. Level up a Caretaker's Talent. Haha, on a shard. That's another shard. Oh, we're gonna do some serious sharding here in a minute. We are going to do some sharding. See, the thing is, I thought that sharding meant make a 1/1 Flying Thopter token because of Sharding Sphinx, but apparently not. Hey, what's up, Sid? Good to see ya. Good to see ya. Any testing of the room WinCon? So we played rooms a lot during. Oh, I wanted to do cool things with that. So we played rooms a lot during early access day, and they're coming up. They're coming up on the YouTube tomorrow. So we probably won't play more rooms today, but my initial impression of rooms is that they're actually quite strong. We're gonna mill out. We're gonna end up milling out. This is so incredibly awkward. So awkward. Well, level you up. Copy you. Level you up. I guess we just try to make the scariest insects possible. Don't need the card draw. Don't need the scroll shift. I guess we don't need the Biza. We gotta stop making cards and drawing tokens. We're gonna die to these Caretaker's Talents. Opponent untaps. And Phyrexian Flesh Gorger. Sure. Wait, can we? How big can we make our tokens? Our tokens might end up getting super big here. About a geological. I think do we have lethal? I think we easily have lethal. We are just gonna get him with the end. Well, we didn't do the Nico thing, but I think we're gonna get the win. Opponent. Cruelty of Gix on top. Not enough. Yeah, Caretaker. I mean, who would have thought? Caretaker's Talent. Almost milled this out, but in the end, a good card. So, level you up. And then level you up. And, oh, we can't do the last one. All right. We'll just hit you for 24. I just went unlimited. If it's possible in limited, it's possible in constructed. Wait, ooh, you want unlimited with what? So opponents like Rakdos stuff, Rakdos things and stuff. Parting Gust seems fine. I wonder if this is oh yeah, rooms are really sweet. You got 8 rooms unlimited. That seems kind of like a challenge, dude. Bowman guy, what's up? Good to see you. I think it's more likely unlimited. My initial impression, Dank Room, is that it's not that tough in constructed. However, I feel like it's going to get tougher. Because I feel like if the enchantments are as good as they're looking, people are going to play a lot of enchantment hate, and it's going to become much tougher to actually pull off the win that way. So that's kind of my guess, is like short term, I think rooms might actually be very powerful. Long term, little more worried that people are gonna start cease and desisting or whatever, things that just absolutely blow out enchantments. Daniel Fark Forever, welcome to the Fishbowl. First time sub. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup to you. Thank you. Cruelty of Gix. Yeah, Destroy Evil seems fine. Maybe we don't want the Sunfall. Yeah, I think questions about this format. Is it a main deck artifact and enchantment hate format? Starting to feel like maybe it might actually be. I had a Kaido alongside a Grievous Wound and an Unstoppable Slasher and a Nashe won 6 in a row. Wow, that's a ridiculous draft deck. Grievous Slasher is kind of a scary card, actually. It is actually kind of a scary card. The scariest, though, Grievous Wound. I think Early Access Day has sold me on Grievous Wound actually being like a real card. Yeah, I was wondering, main deck Graveyard Hate? We might be, I don't know, main deck Rest in Peace? That sounds wild, man. We're so good at drawing Caretaker's talents. Naturally going to be better than folks realize. Hitting those legends and enchantments, yeah, it does snowball. And that's kind of what you want out of your modern Magic cards, right? Is you want things that can snowball into a huge advantage by themselves. And I think that's kind of exactly the kind of card. Grievous Wound might actually be a real card. My first thought was it was just like kind of a janky against the odds card or a commander card, but it might actually just be a real card. Hey, what's up, Shadow? Oh, where's your deck list? You gave me... I don't have it in... Can you send me the deck list one more time, Shadow? I know you gave it to me before, but I think I closed out of it while you were gone. Esper Rest in Peace with Vren against the odds. Ooh. Teaching some Marina Zoomers about Graveyard Hate. The TVs... I don't know if there's anything that turns them on in our deck. I thought maybe they'd turn on, but not for us. Well, let's just do some Caretaker talent stuff. Yeah, Kaido I think might actually be pretty good too. All right, so the question was, where do we put the green Overlord in this deck? So, easiest... Let's draw our cards here, and then we'll look on our opponent's turn. I think the easiest solution to this problem... And I haven't played much Domain. It's been a little bit too tier for me to play it much. Easiest would just be dropped Heaped Harvest, right? So I know Heaped Harvest can ramp twice. It can gain you life. But Green Overlord better with Up the Beanstalk. And it could potentially ramp twice in its own way. So I think level 1, just swap out the Heaped Harvest. How important is Heaped Harvest? Is this a card that you felt like it's essential? It's way better than I think it is? Whenever I've seen other people play it, it seemed fine. It seemed like a functional ramp spell, but nothing that was like, oh my god, I can't believe how busted this is. So I think that's maybe the easiest solution. The other possibilities, you could, I guess, try trimming like some removal maybe. I don't know if that's wise to start trimming removal out of a deck like this. The one Splunking... Like some of this, are we playing best of one? We might be playing best of one. Yeah, I think I just traded for the Heaped Harvest. Anything to mirror in standard would double strike. Wait, Grievous Wound. Grievous Wound isn't exactly lethal with double strike. Not quite. Yeah, let's just Nico. Nico. Shiny, shiny, shiny boots of leather. Whiplash girl child in the dark. I like that it gives me an excuse to sing Velvet Underground songs. It's the best part of this card. Yeah, I think the problem with double strike is you cut it in half and then you cut the half in half. So I think you need, with Grievous Wound, 1 damage 4 times. 1 damage 4 times will kill your opponent from 20, I believe is the math on it. Yeah, I would probably go there. You could like try to trim and play like 2 heap. Maybe you want 6 ram spells, and you're like, maybe you can go down the temporary lockdown. Like so far, we've played a lot of mid range. Maybe the format's mid. Hell, this is best of one. Best of one's not going to be mid rangey. Maybe can you go down a Wrath? So you have 4 Wraths and the 2 temporary lockdowns. Maybe you could go down like 1 Wrath. 1 Heaped Harvest, 4 Green Overlord, something along those lines. Well. I mean, this Carnosaur's probably got to go. Our board has been wrathed quite expertly. Let's play the Seachrome Coast. Yeah, let's impend the Overlord. Discard. The blue Overlord actually feels very good. It feels very good. The ability to use the blue Overlord to find like our white Overlord has been really nice. Really, really nice. Duskmourn's been sweet. We played a pretty funny Rakdos sack deck. Now we're trying to do some Nico Overlord blinking. But overall, it's felt really good. Why no Verges in this deck over fast lands? So I think the mana bases in this format are very interesting. I found like some decks I don't play any Verges in. Other decks I play a ton of Verges in. Let me pull up this mana base. So this mana base, we got 2 Meticulous Archives, 3 Plains, 3 Islands, 1 Fabled Passage. I like it the most in Fabled Passage mana bases, because Adhikar Waste and Seachrome Coast, they don't have the land type, so they don't turn on Verges. This I could probably support them though. It could probably do it. That might be enough. 8 total sources in a Fabled Passage, so 9. That might be enough. Do you think this deck could work in Pioneer? I think I'm going to start playing more Pioneer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Well, I mean, yeah, we're not even going to impend it. We're going all the way. The Overlord's coming. The Overlord is coming. Overlord of the Mistmoors. Make some insects, draw some cards, and hit you for 1. Get in Novice Inspector. Could this deck work in Pioneer? So it's a cat sack deck with some new upgrades. Ooh, I mean this kind of spicy. Got a lot of Bloomburrow stuff in it, which is cool. I think something like this could work. The only thing I would say, I'm not sure about this All-Blade Skin Ripper. I don't know if we can sack enough. Wow, the Harvester. I don't know if we can sack enough to make it worth it. That would be the question. All right, let's impending an Overlord of the Mistmoor. Draw a couple cards. Caretaker's Talon's kind of messed up. That's kind of a messed up. I mean, I feel like our opponent's doing just as much as we are, but we have we have these Caretaker's talents, so we have a million cards and our opponent has no cards. Like, that's out of here. Out of here. That's basically it. We're just drawing all the cards. Yeah, I like the Skin Ripper with the Carnage, where we can sack everything and do the, like, desperate, try to sack to find it. I don't know if I'd play it in the Pioneer build, though. I like the Egotist in the deck, though. What is the... So Cat Sack is a pretty popular Pioneer archetype. Opponent's gonna crack a map, right? Whatever. We're gonna kill it. No maps for you. Let's see what they're doing in the versions people have been playing. So Cauldron Familiar, Blood Tithe Harvester, Mayhem Devil, Igra, Claim the Firstborn. Oh, Fable. Fable's really, really good. Like, if it's in your budget or you have them, I would play Fable. The other card I'm a little sketchy on, like, the enchantment package is a little weird to me. Like, I'm not sure if Hopeless Nightmare is actually good enough in Pioneer, but I think something along those lines could be good. Any adjustments you would make from the Rooms deck you're playing in early access. So the Jeskai Rooms deck, I actually kind of really liked. It might need a little bit more removal for the broader meta. Sometimes when it comes to early access day, sometimes you can cheat a little bit on removal just because other people are going to be trying to pull off combos and stuff. So maybe like another removal spell or two, but I would play pretty much exactly the same deck. Very, very close to the same. His Unwanted Remake Me to Splash It All seems hyped, or is gifting them a 2/2 worse than we thought. Yeah, I have not been high on that card at all. I've never seen anyone play it. I don't think it's good. I think the only context where I see it as being good is if I can use it, opponent, you're gonna fish here. If I can use it on my own creatures in a deck that like really wants to manifest, but it only hits creatures and it leaves behind a 2/2, and we have Get Lost, which is very good for 1 more mana, and like at 1 mana you even have like Elspeth Smite, so I would be surprised. I think it's actually more of either a combo piece where, like I said, you're using this on your own cards to 1, 2, 3. We can't win. All right, let's just attack with the spirits. I think we can win in 2 turns probably. Headshot with the insects. But yes, in Commander, I think it goes up in value. In Commander, although even in Commander, I guess you have a lot of white removal options. Like, it's kind of like a Pongify. Pongify is really good in blue, because blue is really bad at removing things. Little less exciting, I would say, in white, but let's Gremlin Tame. We just want to set up a board where we can win the game next turn, which I think we can do. I mean, opponent needs a Wrath. They need a Wrath, they need a Wrath, they need a Wrath. Really? How's it been in Limited? I've switched the list up, but let me see, Shadow. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. We got our scroll shift trick. Let our opponent have their fun. Let them eat. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They can't play the full-on Flesh Gorger. So we blink this and then win. That sounds reasonable. Up the Beans Box Bunking, Lockdown, Binding. Yeah. On it, like, Personally, I mean, I guess it's up to your personal taste. I would be for Overlords too, Heaped Harvest. But if you really like Heaped Harvest, that's fine as well. For me, I have to imagine the Heaped Harvest is just like the better version of the effect overall, but maybe it's not. You've probably played the deck more than I have, so... What does Rakdos mean? So Rakdos refers to the red-black color combination. So there was a set. Actually, we've been here many times before, but Ravnica was a set that came out like 20 years ago the first time, And it was a set built around 2-color pairs. So like white and blue, green and white, red and black. The whole set was 2-color pairs. And it went on to become one of Magic's most famous and iconic planes. Like, people love Ravnica. We've had Return to Ravnica. We have had Guilds of Ravnica. There's a lot of Ravnica sets. And in Ravnica, each 2-color pair had a name. So like red and black was Rakdos, white and blue was Azorius, green and white was Selesnya, and because Rakdos, and because Ravnica ended up being such a popular plane, those names just kind of stuck. So now whenever you see a red black deck, Rakdos is a pretty common term for it that you'll hear people use even today, 20 years after Ravnica, almost 20 years after Ravnica officially dropped. So yeah, it's just a nickname for the color combination, basically. An opponent cannot beat the Overlords. This deck, I like the deck. And the way it's playing seems fine. And our win rate's been pretty good today. Although, I feel like Nico has not been popping off as much as I was hoping. Is this just a Caretaker's Talent deck? Are we just a Caretaker's Talent deck with a couple of Nikos thrown in? That's the question. So Nico, I'm gonna have to play more of it. Like, the deck's functional, but is this like something unique and cool that Nico's doing, or are we just kind of like a Caretaker's Talent deck with some new cards in it? It seems like Caretaker's Talent was winning most of the games, more so than the Nico. Maybe Nico's against the odds. I think Nico, I will say, I'm excited for Nico because I'm actually, where's my Nico? Did I lose my Nico? I'm playing Nico for an upcoming Commander Clash. That's my second Duskmourn deck is Nico, and it's actually a really cool commander. It's way cooler than I thought. Like, the combination of, it's kind of Panharmonicon-y, it's kind of blinky, you mash it all together, it's actually a really sweet commander. Yeah, I mean, I guess everything plays better when you have a ton of card draw on the battlefield. So yeah, I don't know about this deck. I think this deck plays well, but it might just be a Caretaker's Talent deck. On the other hand, the Rakdos, crack open a couple of free packs here. The Rakdos deck, on the other hand, actually seems, I'm very intrigued by this deck. I might have to keep working on this one. The combo kills happen pretty consistently. They're really funny. It could almost be a budget deck. Almost. Like, our big payoffs are uncommons, bats uncommon, Merce uncommon. We could almost make this into a cool budget deck. So I don't know. I'm gonna keep working on this one. But I think there's some potential for this weird, mean girl, popular egotist, Sawblade Skin Ripper, pitiless Carnage combo deck in our new standard format. Is anybody playing Arabella on Commander Clash? Dork Tribal seems fun. I think Richard is, maybe, or is considering it. I'm possibly some Arabella action. I missed the Rakdos deck. You'd have to check the tapes later. The good news is, if you missed any of the Rakdos deck, it'll be on the replay YouTube in tomorrow-ish, probably, by the time it gets uploaded. We need a cat in an oven. Yeah, a cat in an oven would be busted. On that note, everyone, I think that pretty much brings us to the end of our stream for today. I have a problem. I have lots of fun with Doppelgang. I mean, who doesn't? But I'm addicted to using it to copy my opponent's board. How can I stop? I mean, why would you want to stop, Conman AU? I also might be a bit of a Doppelgang addict. It's really addicting. And it's just like super fun, and it like kind of actually, it just feels so good. It's just so cool. So I'm kind of excited about it. I wouldn't quit. I would tell you not to quit. I think that would be my takeaway. There's no reason to quit. Just keep on doppelganging. Just keep on dopping. Anyway, everyone, I think that brings us to the end of our stream for today. So on the way out the door, if you missed anything, replay YouTube. That's where you can find all the old streams, including this one in the future. Normal YouTube. Room action tomorrow for Against Odds. You should check it out because it's super, super sweet. We'll be covering more of the Commander bannings on the Commander Clash podcast. So tons of stuff coming up on the YouTube. One more reminder that our sponsor today is Card Kingdom. If you need some magical cards, you can get them over at cardkingdom.com/mtggoldfish. If you get a free goldfish sticker, you just let them know you want one in your order notes, and they'll hook you up. They're super cool like that. Most importantly, thank you to all of you. Seriously, y'all are amazing and awesome. I know it's release day. There's tons of people streaming. There's tons of stuff going on. I appreciate you so much hanging out, having some fun. I hope you have an amazing afternoon. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon for another one. So until then, everyone, be good. I love you all, and I will talk to you soon.